won the toss. They'll receive. The wind's out of the south here at 9. So Dave Windsor will be kicking off for the Bears, and the Bears will defend the goal line. Field. Our referee today is Bob McGill. Umpires Al Conway. Head linesman Ernie France. The back judge Banks Williams. The side judge Bob Wright.
If and when Walter Payton breaks Jim Brown's rushing record, they will stop the game only briefly, only long enough to give the Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio.
Duckett and who was not scheduled to play today are back now in double. Puts the ball in the air. It's a deep boomer. Duckett takes it 4 yards deep, comes out, runs to the far side. Gets by one man, turns the corner, gets by a second man, up the sideline. He goes 20 and out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Out of bounds, a 25-yard kickoff return. A reserve wide receiver. You're listening to Chicago, WBBM AM in Chicago. Granted by the Bears, any rebroadcast or other use of the field is prohibited without the express WBBM radio. First play for the line of scrimmage. Top out of Alabama leads them up there in the I formation. George Rogers, the Heisman winner, out of the handoff up the middle. He gets out over the 25, lunges forward across the 20-yard line, tripped up on the play by Otis Wilson. As a left side linebacker, it'll be Wilson, linebacker. The Bears with a basic 4-man pass rush. Hart playing with some battered ribs. McMichael with Frazier and Richardson, the cornerback.
Does like to establish the run.
Second. The middle, hit by Otis Wilson, has jumped back. He got no gain. Otis Wilson stood him up. That's a easy task. He's a 225-pounder in his fourth year out of It'll bring up third down and 6 yards to go.
Situation for the Saints now. Todd has this year. The Saints 26 in percentage of interceptions. He had 26 picked off last year. Sometimes he throws the ball into a
setback. They go to their ace formation. 3 wide out. Right side. Scott. Here's the call by Todd on 6. There's a flat thrown. Rifles over the middle, and it's dropped for the tight end. 36-yard line as he had beaten Todd Bell, the strong safety, out of his hands. However, a flag was dropped as soon as the ball was snapped, and it's a penalty against the Saints, which will be declined, bringing up Brian Hansen in the punt.
Hobie Brenner is coming into his zone. He's not a big play tight end, or wasn't until this season, but 10 catches, averaging over 20 yards at a 57-yarder, and has caught 2 for touchdowns. Hobie Brenner, 4th year at a USC.
Brian Hansen averaging better than punt return men today. Back in single safety is wide receiver Dennis McKinnon inside his own 30-yard line.
Hansen was a 9th-round draft pick out of Sioux Falls. He replaces the veteran Russell Erxleben of Wisconsin.
Out at center. There's a snap. It's a good one. No rush. Here's the kick away. It's a low one. A wobbler heading to the... Now to the 35. Cuts to the far side. Spins away. He was low bridged by a New Orleans Saints player, Tim. He ran right over him. A 12-yard return of a 45-yard low line drive. And Jim McMahon leads the Bears offensive unit onto the field with great field position to start their first drive.
Jim has not practiced all week. Now he's practiced. It hurt the hand a little bit and made him less effective on Sunday. This time he practiced a little bit. Actually, when he practiced, Joe, he threw with extras. He's 2 for 2 with his left hand in the NFL.
McKinnon wide to the near side. Galt will split wide to the right. Payton on the right side. Shift out of the eye. McMahon with his first play call. He's completed 61% so far this year. Play action fake. Spins, takes the deep drop. Swings out a high level on the right side. It's screen to Suey. He's to the 40. He's to the 50. In the New Orleans territory at the Saints 48-yard line. On the first play and a couple of upfield blockers. And linebacker finally knocked his feet out from under him. And the prime fullback out of Penn State with his first reception of the day and a first down.
You know, the Saints really can't be looking for the Bears to do much passing here. They only Dallas, so McMahon's hand, maybe it's good to go to the air here while his hand is still healthy before it starts getting sore.
Yep. So it's not a first down. It's second down, about a yard. Kick wide to the near side. Galt split wide to the right. Now they shift out of the deuce into the eye, putting the eye behind Suey. Call by McMahon on second and short. No. 48. Give to Walter. And he knifes through, gets the first down, stacked up right at the 45-yard line by Jim Wilkes, the right defensive end. This is a great pass rushing ball club, and they use a basic three-man front with Warren starting in place of Bruce Clark at left end. Derlin Moore, the veteran in this ball club, a 12-year pro out of Oklahoma at nose tackle. Jim Wilkes at right end. They've got Ricky Jackson, Jim Kovach, Dennis Winston, and Whitney Paul, the four linebackers from left to right. And they've got Dave Waymer out of Notre Dame and Johnny Poe at the safeties with Frank Watlett and Russell Gary, the safeties.
So while they have a three-man front, they generally rush one of the outside linebackers most of the time.
High formation, slot to the right, first down Bears at the New Orleans 45. Now they send McKinnon in motion, reverses, goes back to the right. Quick pitch to Walter, and he scoots to the outside, cuts back at the 40, 35, 30, out of bounds at the 26-yard line on a brilliant cut. He nosed in, then cut back to the outside. Dennis Winston finally knocked him out of bounds on the near sideline. Walter breaks off a nifty 19-yard run, and the Bears have another first down at the New Orleans 26.
And did he put a move on the free safety, Frank Watlett out of Kansas? Watlett seemed to have him dead to rights, but Walter stopped on a dime, cut to the inside, and left Watlett in his wake. Otherwise, that would have only gone for about 6 yards.
23 yards and 2 carries. Walter now closing in on Jim Brown's record, needing a total of 43 yards to tie and 44 to break. First down at the Saints' 26-yard line. Galt wide to the right. McKinnon lines up as a wing to the right, I formation. McMahon sets the offensive line. Saints playing up tight. And they give to the short man, Suey. Sidesteps one man, bumps into the second man, goes down at the 25, shoved back as Derlin Moore got a piece of him, but it was Jim Wilkes who grabbed him by the ankle and held him up. So it's second down, about 9 to go. That's Suey's first carry of the day. Caught a pass for 9. Moorhead, who was in there at tight end with a play call, is now replaced by Jay Salvey. They'll alternate at plays at tight end.
Well, they're getting down when the going gets tough. The Bears have not been a big play team from inside the 20-yard line. They've, in terms of percentage of touchdown passes, 1.6 compared to 5% from New Orleans. And you get down in this territory, you almost have to be able to strike from the air, and the Bears haven't been able to do that this year.
Slot to the near left side. McKinnon lining up as a wing on the left side of tackle Jimbo Covert. Deuce backfield, Suey and Payton. Second down, 9. McMahon on a draw, gives to Payton, slides off one man, angles to the outside and gets to the 22-yard line. Chopped down there by Jim Kovach and Ricky Jackson, the left side linebacker, in his 4th year out of Pitt. So that'll bring up a third down. Walter picked up about 4 on a right tackle trap there, and that'll bring up third down and 5 yards to go at the New Orleans Saints 22-yard line.
And the Saints will, down in this territory, defensively, will bring, in addition to their down linemen, will bring as many as 2 or 3 other players on the rush. A lot of teams like to blitz 50% or more inside the plus 20-yard line here, and well, the ball is really at the 22, but that's about the same territory we're talking about.
Third down, 5 to go. McKinnon wide to the near side, Galt wide to the far right. Now they line up in a double wing left. They better have both receivers on the line. Payton the only setback. Back to throws. McMahon gets a block from Payton, but he's still going to go down. Back at the 31-yard line. That's going to take him out of field goal ranges. Ricky Jackson blew in there for his 5th sack of the year, and 24 now with the aggressive Saints pass rush. Boy, did he just overrun the blockers that time.
Ricky Jackson, that outside linebacker, he made the Pro Bowl last year and led the New Orleans Saints in sacks last year with 11. This gives him 5.5.
5.5 and 29 lifetime. Bob Thomas in to try a long-range field goal. Baschnagel will hold. They'll put the ball down at the 38. It'll be a 48-yard kick. He's got about a 9-mile-an-hour wind at his back. Bob Thomas missed 2 clutch kicks in the lower 40s range last week against Dallas. Hilgenberg over the ball at center. There's a snap. It's a good one. The ball is down. The kick is up. It's got distance. It is good right through the heart. Bob Thomas nailed a 48-yarder, one short of his long kick of the year, and the Bears draw first blood as they kick a 48-yard field goal with 9:43 to go in the first quarter here at Soldier Field. The Bears take a 3-0 lead on WBBM AM. Finzer will kick off. The Bears went 28 yards in 7 plays. Bob Thomas capping the drive with a 48-yarder, and Walter Payton with a 19-yard dash and 1 carry picked up 26 of those yards in 3 hauls. And the Bears are trying to break a 2-year losing streak to this ball club. They lost here 2 years ago in the strike-shortened season 10-0, and last year they lost in overtime 34-31 in New Orleans. Finzer knuckles one down the near side, bouncing, gets by Duckett through the end zone. He goes back, and the ball rolls beyond the end line. It'll be brought out to the 20-yard line. I'm not sure he touched that ball or not.
Didn't matter if it did or not because the impetus of the ball went into the end zone, and it wasn't anything that he did, so regardless of whether he touches it or not, it's a touchback.
So they got a break there as Finzer kind of shanked that one coming down the near sidelines, but it got a good forward kick on it and rolled through the end zone. So the Saints will put the ball in play from their own 20-yard line, trailing 3-0.
Well, if the Bears can get a lead, that's going to help out the defense because 8 of the Bears' 9 interceptions came in those first 2 games, and the Bears won handily. When they get the lead, the defense can tee off.
Growth wide to the near side. Wide to the left is Lindsey Scott. High formation. George Rogers dotting the I behind Gajoon, who is an all-purpose type player. And on a draw, they give to Rogers through a hole up the middle. Shoestring as he got across the 20 to the 28-yard line by Todd Bell, who might have prevented another 15 yards or so on the play. He got nearly a first down. They're going to spot the ball across the 29. We'll call it the 30, but they need about 2 feet to go.
Rogers comes in with 381 yards compared to 621 for Payton. He's averaging 3.9 yards a carry, and his longest this year has been 24.
Not the receiver nor the blocker that Walter is. Although he led the league in rushing his first years, he made All-Pro and Rookie of the Year at the same time. Slot to the near right side. High formation. Second down, less than a yard. Called by Richard Todd. He's had a couple of great years with the Jets. And a give and a big hole as Rogers spins away over the 35. He fumbles the ball, and it's fallen on by Jeff Growth at the 41-yard line, but I think they're going to bring it back a couple of yards. They're going to spot it at the 40, but a first down on a gaping hole up the middle on a trap with George Rogers getting the mail.
Yeah, Rogers is pretty much a straight-ahead power runner, Joe. He's not the open field runner that Walter Payton is or that Billy Sims is.
So he's picked up 20 yards now and 2 carries on this drive, and the Saints have a first down at the 40-yard line. Scott out of Georgia, wide to the left. Growth in the slot. He's out of Bowling Green in his 6th year. High formation. Brenner the tight end on a strong side right. The call by Richard Todd. And he's going to give to Rogers to get inside the tackle. Big hole out to the 50 in the Bears territory at the 49. Hamstrung again by Fensick and Bell, the safeties, and they're just ripping right through the Bears front 4 of those linebackers, and the safeties are having to make the saving grace tackles on the play.
Well, that time Singletary raced up but covered the wrong hole. He was 1 hole away from where Rogers went with the play.
Well, he has now picked up 31 yards and 3 straight carries in this drive, and now Rogers is going out for a breather. He's okay. He started a little slowly, and Wayne Wilson, who chewed up the Bears a year ago, and they're now replacing him at tailback. He's a 220-pounder in his 6th year out of Little Shepherd College in West Virginia.
He's been more effective catching the ball, though, than running it.
The give to Gajong, and he slips one man, gets inside the 45. He's spilled at the 41. Another 8-yard pickup, and again, Gary Fensick made the saving tackle on the play, and the Saints right now are ramming it right down the Bears' defensive throats. 4 straight carries have them at the 40-yard line.
They're just going off right and left guard, Joe. Straight-ahead power football.
Second down, about 1.5 yards to go. We'll call it 2. Slot to the left side. Got to watch the pass now that they've set up the run, and boy, have they set it up on this drive. Wilson still in there at tailback. Here's the call by Richard Todd, and he gives to Wilson. He's hit a knockdown, short yardage this time, but he got the first down inside the 40 to about the 38.
That time Fensick came up and made the initial tackle. He came up from safety to try to stop the run a little bit.
And the Samurai, the young middle linebacker who plays so ferociously against the run, Mike Singletary, helped finish him off, but the Saints have another first down. They're 4th on this drive, all on the ground at the Bears' 38-yard line.
They've only thrown 1 pass, haven't they?
Yep. That was on 3rd and long.
Right.
First time they had the ball. Slot to the near right side. Give them 3 first downs. High formation. Here's the call now by Richard Todd, and he's going to drop back the pass on first down. Looking, he's got time. Lobs it over the middle. Brenner dropped the ball. Oh, he was at the 25-yard line. He hooked up in front of Al Harris and in front of Todd Bell and just simply didn't hang on to the ball.
He dropped both of them. Both balls were on the money to Brenner, and both have been dropped.
Well, the one might have been a little bit out in front of him, but this one hit him right in the numbers. No excuses there. Second down, 10 yards to go. Now Gajong leaves, and coming into the ballgame is John Tice, a second tight end out of Maryland. They'll go to their ace formation here with a single setback, double tight ends. Wide to the left goes Jeff Growth. Wide to the near side, Lindsey Scott. Wilson the setback. Second down 10 at the Bears' 38-yard line. 6:26 to go first quarter. Bears lead on Bob Thomas's 48-yard field goal. Give to Wilson. He is stacked up, hit by Todd Bell, and driven back. He got maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Even at that, he slipped right through Otis Wilson, and Tyrone Keyes had almost popped that play if it wasn't for the third man coming up, and they give him no gain. It'll bring up third down, 10 yards to go. Now the Bears will go with their 46. They put Schmidt and Durson in the secondary and bring on Richard Dent to augment the pass rush.
Bears are the top team in the league on third down defensively, 19%. The Saints, one of the best offensively, 47%.
47.
They are 47% on 3rd and 10, I guarantee you.
Double wing to the right. Now in motion, going through to the right side is Tyrone Young. Back to throw on 3rd down and 10 is Richard Todd being rushed. He's grabbed, he goes down, back at his own 49-yard line. Dan Hampton and Steve McMichael pitched him off. I'm not sure whether they'll split the sack or one or the other will get credit, but that's number 1 for the Bears today and 16 on the year.
Well, McMichael got him first by the ankle, and then Hampton steamrolled him. They may share that one.
Back to the 49 in Saints territory. That brings up a 4th down, a 13-yard loss attempting to pass, and that's the 10th time that Todd has been dumped attempting to do so, and in to try to nail it out near the Bears goal line is Brian Hansen, who had a low driving 45-yard kick in his first effort. McKinnon back at the Bears 10-yard line. Snap, a good one. They put the outside rush on, but he gets the kick away. A high, lazy wobbler this time. McKinnon calls for fair catch, lets it bounce, and the Bears get a bad break. It backs up and goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line. It looked like it was going into the end zone. McKinnon did the smart thing. He called for the fair catch, then let it go. It'll be a 50-yard punt out of bounds at the 1-yard line across the way.
I think that was Terry Hogue who knocked it out of bounds. He got down there to down it just before it went in the end line and knocked it out of bounds.
Came back. He got the lucky bounce.
And he got hurt on the play. He must have landed on his shoulder.
So we've got a timeout here. The Bears will start deep in their own territory, as deep as they can go at the 1, with a 5 minutes and 16 seconds left to go in the first period. The Bears lead 3-0 on WBBM AM. The Bears will take over at their own 1-yard line, leading 3-0 late in the first quarter of play. Their second offensive drive. McKinnon comes wide to the near side. They've got Galt in tight on the right. Let's see if they split him out. Now they're going to shift him a bit wide to the right. And they move out of the deuce into the wing left with Suey at the wing. Payton the single setback. Now they send Suey in motion. And rolling to the left now is McMahon. Quick pop out of the end zone. He drops it incomplete in front of Saldi, who released at the line of scrimmage and angle out on the near side. And he had Kovacs, the inside linebacker, beaten. But McMahon was pressured and dumped as he got rid of the ball. He didn't have time to set up. Otherwise, he would have had his receiver. Second down 10. The Saints, you can imagine now, with a sack already today and 24 on the year, going to send everything but the kitchen sink here.
He was fortunate to get rid of that ball, Joe. He's rolling left and passing right, which is always difficult to do. And he was looking for Jay Saldi, and he had to throw the ball just in the nick of time before Ricky Jackson steamrolled him.
Jackson's already sacked him once today. He really belted him. Galt now coming wide to the near side. McKinnon wide to the right. Now they line Suey up as a wing, and they split the tight end. Emery Moorhead about a yard. Payton the setback at the goal line here. Suey in motion. Give to Walter. Walter knifes out to the 5 and carries a couple of guys out to about the 8-yard line with his helmet down and knees high. Frank Watlett finally corralled him or lassoed him down with help from a couple of other white shirts out there. Walter's incredible leg strength carried three would-be tacklers for about 3 yards. Well, they're going to put the ball at the 8-yard line, a gain of 7. That'll bring up third down and 3 to go. And Payton now with 33 yards, 33 shy of tying, 34 short of setting a new all-time career rushing record.
Big block that time by Jimbo Covert, the Bears' left tackle.
Closing in on the 4.5-minute mark here in the first quarter. Bears leading by a field goal. Bashnagel in there now on third down, wide to the near side. They've slotted McKinnon on the right side inside of Galt. The spread formation with Suey and Payton on either side of McMahon. Jay Hugenberg over the ball at center. Direct snap inside, handoff to Payton. He stacked up short of the first down. In fact, he only got about a yard, and that's going to bring up a punting situation. The Bears will be punting to the Saints from their own goal line.
But they've got a 9-mile-an-hour wind at their back, so they should be able to get it out beyond midfield.
Frank Warren, 278-pounder, fourth year out of Auburn, starting in place of Bruce Clark, their leading pass rusher today at left defensive end, made the stop. Jitter Fields, who was not listed to play today because of a hamstring, is back in single punt safety. They had told us that Jeff Groth would return the punts today.
Jitter is a fifth-round draft pick this year out of Texas.
And he's done a good job returning punts, averaging 13+, 13.2. Finzer about 6 yards deep in his own end zone. Dan Raines over the ball at center. Good snap. They've got a rush on. He gets the kick away, and a boomer all the way back. And Fields is going to let it bounce at the 30. It's inside the 10. It's to the 5, and it's knocked out of bounds. Where are they going to mark it? It's going to be at about the 2-yard line, I believe. A tremendous punt by Finzer. 88-yard punt, Joe. Well, in my career, I was fortunate enough to call the longest punt. Steve Neal of the Jets hit a 98-yarder at Mile High Stadium from the 1 to the 1. 87 yards. That may be a Bear record.
I believe it is.
And we have a Bear down on the play outside the Saints' 40-yard line. A tremendous punt by the youngster Dave Finzer. Boy, how the momentum changed there. They're going to spot the ball at the 3-yard line, it appears. We've got a timeout here. 3:28 to go, first quarter on WBBM AM. The 87-yard punt by Dave Finzer, the second longest in Chicago Bear history. First down for the Saints.
Joe Linsenich, 1931, kicked one 94 yards.
Both ends are in tight. Wide receiver to the right, I formation. Now they send Growth through to the left, to the right side, and the handoff to Clark, or rather to Rogers, and he's stuffed by Steve McMichael, who blow-bridged in there and sealed off the hole, and they knocked him down. And let's see where they give him. They may have given him a yard on the play. They give him 2. He's out to the 5. It's second down, 8 yards to go. 3-0 Bears lead. 3:10 to go, first quarter. 87 yards on the punt by David Finzer. Growth wide to the near right side. Wide to the left is Lindsey Scott. I formation now. DeJong the fullback. George Rogers the tailback. Richard Todd bends over center. John Hill. Here's the call on a strong side right. And he drops back into the end zone to throw. He's being rushed. He's hit as he throws. Lame duck wobbler. Incomplete on the left sideline. He was hit just as he cocked his arm and started forward, and Todd Bell was the closest man to that football, but it was wide and out to the left side. Well, Tyrone Keyes got him.
The smartest thing Todd did was throw the ball long enough to get it out of bounds. But Todd has a tendency in that situation, Joe, to put the ball into a crowd or throw the interception. And that time he didn't. But the Bears, almost had a safety. But I don't think they would have gotten an interception.
All right, it's dead end and right defensive end. Dorson and Schmidt join the secondary on third down. 8 yards to go. Ace formation. It's Gajong who can throw now. He threw a 35-yarder for a touchdown against the Cardinals 2 years ago. He's the only setback. Slot to the right, wide receiver to the left. Gives to Gajong. Slips one man. Still burrows his way. Breaks the tackle. He's to the 20. He's to the 25. He broke the grasp of 2 tacklers who might have knocked each other off. Spun away from a 3rd tackler, and Mike Richardson might have saved a touchdown. They had him stopped and let him go.
Well, Mike Singletary had him dead to rights back at the 5-yard line, and how Mike missed him, I don't know. That's 2 tackles we've seen Mike miss in back-to-back weeks where he had the guy wide open. One was an 68-yard screen pass last week against Dallas.
Well, they let him off the hook for a 20-yard gain, first down for the Saints.
Sure did.
Gajong, you got to give him credit. He never stopped working, and he slipped 3 would-be tacklers. Wide to the left, Lindsey Scott. Wide to the near side, Jeff Grove. I formation. Rogers back in at tailback. And there's a mix-up, a fumble snap, and the Bears fall on the football at the 23-yard line. Mike Hartenstein. Looked like Richard Todd may have pulled away from center. John Hill a bit too soon. All of the right side moved as well, and the ball free on the carpet, and Hartenstein recovered for the Bears.
Hartenstein playing with torn cartilage in his rib cage because he's never missed a game for the Chicago Bears.
So the Bears managed to hold in spite of that missed tackle, and they get the ball via the turnover at the Saints 23, and that gives them a +1 now for the year after they had squandered most of their +7 in the turnover category after the first 3 weeks of the season.
Joe, the center, John Hill, missed the snap count. He snapped it. Everybody else stood there. The Bears reacted well, and Hartenstein got the fumble.
So now the Bears have a chance to pad their lead. See what Waller can do. Slot to the left, deuce backfield. First down at the Saints 23-yard line. The call by Jim McMahon. They send McKinnon in motion. Reverses, comes back to the left side. And they give it a cross buck to Suey. Tried to go to the outside, cuts back inside, and is knifed down immediately by the left linebacker, Ricky Jackson, for no gain.
It's been a while before the Bear defense has given the ball the offense in this kind of field position.
Yes, it has. And that's what they were able to capitalize early in salting away the first 2 victories against Tampa Bay and also against the Denver Broncos, who have only lost to the Bears in the first 5 weeks of the year. They salted those victories away in the first half.
The Illinois State Lottery, you could still win $1 million or $100,000 instantly. Play $1 million cash instant lottery.
Bears break the huddle, line up in the eye. Now they're going to ship Suey to the left wing. Galt wide to the near side, McKinnon wide to the right. They send Suey in motion. He goes through this time to the right side. Rolling back to pass. Now is McMahon being rushed. He slips and falls and covers himself at the 34-yard line. That'll go as a sack, but McMahon's leg just seemed to buckle on him as he backpedaled out of there, and he fell down before anybody got there. I guess they'll give the sack to Frank Warren. That would be his first of the year and the second for the Saints pass rush today. Whitney Paul, the linebacker, gets credit for it. That'll give him 5 on the year.
Yeah, I just think he caught himself on the artificial turf.
Yeah,
well,
his heel might have gotten caught.
Yeah, he kind of threw himself off balance a little bit.
Well, he loses 10 there. It's going to bring up third down, 20 yards to go. Bob Thomas limbering up the right kicking leg behind the bench on the near sidelines.
Well, I guess somebody gets credit for a sack, huh?
Yeah, they gave it to Whitney Paul, the outside right linebacker.
Okay.
All right, it's going to be Galt and McKinnon wide to the near side. Bashnagel in there. McKinnon in motion and blowing through before the ball's even snapped was Frank Warren, who ran past the quarterback before. Look at that. 6 flags. Count them all over the place. Wasn't a difficult penalty to call. And the Saints are saying that somebody moved on the Bears' offensive line.
6 flags. Sounds like a commercial.
Number 73, defense.
All right, it's against Frank Warren. The officials didn't buy any of that movement on the offensive line, so that'll put the ball 5 yards closer to the Saints' goal line. And, of course, thinking ahead another down, if the Bears fail to come up with first down yardage, it'll give Thomas a much better shot. He's already hit a 48-yarder today. Now the line of scrimmage is inside the 29. We'll call it the 28, 3rd and 15.
If the ball stays right where it is because of an incomplete pass, he will be kicking a 46-yard field goal.
Bashnagel wide to the right. Galt and McKinnon both wide to the near left side. Now they use the spread. Suya on the left-hand side of McMahon, Payton on the right. They send McKinnon in motion back towards the middle. Give to Payton on a sweep to the left side. Gets a turn block from Ford. Slips off one man. Hits straight up and shoved out of bounds. He didn't gain an inch on that one. There'll be no gain as Russell Gary, the strong safety, came up with Whitney Paul, the right side linebacker, and they sealed off the outside to Walter, so he didn't get anything there. And so Bob Thomas will try a 46-yarder and also try to double the lead.
Well, the last one he kicked was inside the right upright by 1 foot. It wasn't a hook ball. He kicked it straight as an arrow, but it just barely got inside the right upright.
4th down, 15 yards to go, just inside the New Orleans 29. Bashnagel will set it down. Well, will be a 47-yard attempt. So Thomas, who had a 48-yarder a moment ago, will try we'll give him 46. On the near hash mark, Bashnagel down on the knee, waiting the snap from Jay Hilgenberg. Arm extended. There's the snap a bit high. Bryan gets it down. There's a kick by Thomas. It's got plenty of leg, and it's good again. He buried it right through the uprights. He has hit a pair of 40-plus yard field goals, one from 48 and now one from 46, and the Bears lead it 6-0. And we got a fight going on here after the play is over. But with 28 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Bears lead 6-0 on WBBM AM. Well, a short drive and a recovered fumble has led to 2 long-range Bob Thomas field goals, and the Bears have a 6-0 edge here. They lost 5 yards in the 4 plays after recovering the fumble snap from center between John Hill and Richard Todd.
Joe Bob Thomas had missed 3 in a row coming into this game, 41, 43, 46 yards. Now suddenly he boots 2 of 47 and 48.
All right, Kenny Duckett on the near side, Jitterfields on the far side, and Finzer hits it. Oh, he booms an end-over-end line driver all the way back 7 yards deep in the end zone. This time Kenny Duckett drops down on the left knee. They'll bring it out. That's 2 touchbacks for the Bears, one a lucky one, this one a deep driving kick. We haven't seen that too often in recent years. Saints will put the ball in play for their own 20-yard line with 23 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Let's check some other scores. Denver is winning at Detroit, 14-0 first quarter. Minnesota leads at Tampa Bay, 7-0. St. Louis and Dallas are tied at 7. Washington leads Indianapolis 7-0. It's Kansas City 3, the New York Jets 0, and Buffalo leads Philly 7-0.
Timeout. We'll be back with more on WBBM AM. Joe McConnell along with Brad Palmer here on an overcast Sunday afternoon, a historic day we all hope, but of course the most important thing, Walter's going to get the record sooner or later, probably sooner, and we want to win.
Exactly, but he'll get it today. What's he got now? Let's see.
He's over halfway there.
35 yards so far today. That's 1 quarter.
Strong side right. Now they send wide receiver Tyrone Young in motion to the left. And to give to the second man, George Rogers. He stacked up at the 21-yard line. They're sealing off the lanes now. Singletary and McMichael combine to bring him down. It'll be 2nd down, 9 to go. That should probably be the final play of the first quarter here, which has not really been dominated by anybody. Saints have had 1 long drive that fizzled when the quarterback sack took him out of field goal range. And the 87-yard punt has been the big story so far here today by Dave Finzer. The gun sounds. The first period is history with the Bears leading the New Orleans Saints 6-0 on WBBM AM. Well, a quick look at the stats here provided us by Dick Bossing. Saints 4-2 in first downs. The Bears have rushed 7 times for 36 yards. The Saints have rushed 11 times for 70 yards. McMahon 1 of 2 for 9 yards in the first play for the line of scrimmage to Matt Suey. And Richard Todd has attempted 2 passes and has completed none.
So isn't that a turn of events? Here the Saints have outgained the Bears, but the Bears are leading 6-0.
Bears have already picked up, 1 sack for 13 yards in losses, while McMahon fell down once and was sacked another time trying to pass for losses totaling 18 yards. There's only been 1 penalty so far today, a 5-yarder against the Saints. And Walter Payton, in the first period of play, has carried the ball a total of 5 times for 35 yards, so he is 31 shy of Brown, 32 short of breaking the record.
The Saints have run the ball 11 times. They have passed it only twice, both incomplete to the tight end.
Make that 0 for 3, Brad. He threw the one away, and Brenner dropped 2.
All right.
So it'll be 2nd down, 8 yards to go for the Saints. Now, the big ground gainer so far today is George Rogers. He has carried the ball 2 more times than Walter and has gained 4 more yards, a total of 39. And Gajong, who had that long gainer when the Bears had him all but down, broke free, picked up 20, has got 28 yards and 2 carries.
Well, it's down to the last month of campaigning for the presidential candidates. Ronald Reagan and Walter Mondale will square off in their first debate tonight at 8 o'clock. WBBM AM will broadcast the debate live. So tune in tonight at 8 o'clock here on WBBM AM News Radio 78, in touch with Chicago.
Tyrone Young, second year out of Florida, wide to the near side.
46 defense this time for the Bears.
Lindsey Scott wide to the right, double tight end alignment, single setback, looks like Wayne Wilson. Call by Richard Todd, drops back to throw, looking, pump, steps up in the pocket, throws deep. Post pattern just through the fingertips of Lindsey Scott at the Bears' 40-yard line. He drew double coverage from Fensick and Richardson, but it looked like the ball should have been completed, although it might have been just a yard too long. Todd really unloaded on that one. He had time to step up into the pocket, and he just missed by inches, connecting with Lindsey Scott on a fly pattern.
Well, that's one big difference between Todd and Kenny Stabler. Todd can air the ball out, Stabler can't. And timing was almost right there on that play. You called it, though. Double coverage. Had to be a perfect throw, and almost was, but just a tad overthrown.
Snake, by the way, has a case of the flu today, and so if something should happen to Todd, we might see Dave Wilson, the youngster out of Illinois. All right, they got their ace formation. Single setback is Gajong. Slot to the left. Back to throw. Todd sets up, and he throws out on the right side, and it's dropped as it lofted the ball right in over the right shoulder of Dave Wilson. Make that to Wayne Wilson, and he fumbled it out of bounds. So far today, the Saints have dropped 3 possible completions. Singletary was covering on the play, but he was about a step and a half behind.
Saints 0 for 5 now through the air.
And Todd could well have completed 3, maybe 4. So into punt again is Brian Hansen. He's had 2 so far today. One a 50-yard dandy to put the Bears back in their own 1-yard line. We have seen 2 phenomenal punts today. The other one, an 87-yarder by Dave Finzer, the second longest in club history.
Well, Hansen, the rookie, like Finzer, he can also boom the ball. So we'll see what the wind does for him. Of course, the Bears got a great bounce.
McKinnon back at his own 27-yard line in single punt safety. Snap, a good one. One man rushed inside. That was Sean Gale. A wobbler to the near side, running under McKinnon at the 39 to the 40, 45. Jitterbug step across the 50. Takes a dive into New Orleans Saints territory where Glenn Redd knocked him down on the play, actually covered him more than anything else.
Not a good punt at all. It was short, had no hang time.
Well, he's hit too low now. That one was a wobbler off the side of the foot. It did go 39 yards, but a 12-yard return by Dennis McKinnon, who is running punts back today for the first time in regular season play after just a couple of times earlier. Jeff Fisher had done a fine job up until today.
And so for the second straight time, the Bears open up in Saints territory.
Leading 6-0.
New England also has jumped out to a quick lead, 3-0 over Cleveland.
Galt wide to the near side. He'll be testing Dave Waymer out of Notre Dame. McKinnon wide to the left, operating against Johnny Poe. Wing to the left is Suey. Payton the only setback. First down. Suey just slightly in motion. Back to pass. McMahon rolls to the right. Going to be grabbed from behind and pulled down by Frank Warren. He ran more into him that time than Warren running into McMahon. Derlin Moore also helped out on the play. A sack of about 4 yards, maybe 5 in losses, and that is a 3rd sack already today for that aggressive New Orleans pass rush. That gives them 26 on the year.
Very difficult to go long against the pass rush, against the Saint defense because of that pass rush. They always, almost always, send 4 people. They sent the outside linebacker that time in addition to 3 down linemen, and they play deep zone back there. So it's tough to go long against them, and the Bears try, but McMahon didn't get the time.
Loss of 4, 2nd down, 14 to go. Galt wide to the near side, McKinnon wide to the left. Now they shift a bit and move Moorhead up on the line, a tight end on the left side. And a give to Payton on a slant to the left side. Breaks back. He's to the 45. Spins to the 44-yard line in Saints territory. Well, there's a nifty 10-yard pickup. Dennis Winston tripped him up on the play, one of the two inside linebackers. He's out of Arkansas. So they give him to the 44-yard line, a gain of 8, and that gives Walter 43 on the day, 20 yards shy of Jim Brown. Jay Saldi replaces Emery Moorhead with a play call from the near sidelines. Third down, 6 yards to go.
44.
There's Walter Payton's mother waving to the TV cameras.
Got a lot of different press from around the country here covering this event today.
Roland Harper there, and also Bud Holmes, who's his attorney down in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
All right, wing to the right is McKinnon. They send him in motion through to the left side, and a play-action fake to the tailback, Payton. McMahon going deep down the left side, and McKinnon trying to outrun the ball. It's dropped by the defender, Johnny Poe.
Joe, it was still alive all the way into the end zone. The ball was dropped. It went off the back of somebody's heel, back over the shoulder, and the defender for New Orleans still had a shot at it if he had the presence of mind in the end zone. That ball was alive for about 15 yards after it initially got tipped.
I'm not sure he even knew it was there. He just kept on going down the sidelines, although he might have been trying to snatch it in. We've seen a couple of those freak plays completed this year. That was thrown right to Poe, who actually dropped the ball, should have had the interception.
The
ball hit him on the helmet.
First on the ankle, then the helmet. I mean, it was really a weird deal.
All right, Finzer had an 87-yard boomer in the punt now. Jitter Fields back in single safety for the Saints at the New Orleans 10-yard line. Dan Raines centers the ball on punting situations for the Bears. Backup linebacker, high spiral snap. There's the kick. He got it off. Wobbler, not too much drive to the left side. Takes a sidewinder bounce, back up field, out of bounds. It hit at the 15 and came back up, and let's see. Oh, they're going to spot the ball at the 14. Looks like the 14-yard line, which I think gave him a couple of more yards than he had. But Bears will be glad to take it. 13:06 left to go in the first half. That was only a 30-yarder. And the Bears lead the Saints here 6-0 on WBBM AM.
Brad Palmer and Joe McConnell back at Soldier Field. We'll give you some scores, but here come the Saints to the line of scrimmage back on their own 14, Joe.
Tyrone Young wide to the near side. Lindsey Scott wide to the right. I formation. They've taken growth out of there now. And a quick pitch to Rogers, angling to the right side, through a big hole at the 20, cuts to the outside, past the block at the 25, hit from behind, shoved forward across the 30 to the 34, but a flag was thrown. Todd Bell made the hit from behind, and in doing so, shoved Rogers about another 4 yards upfield.
Well, the scoreboard had 14-yard line, but it's really the 16-yard line that began on.
Well, that's where I thought the ball went out of bounds. They're going to bring that nice run by George Rogers back, so the Bears get a break there.
Formation, offense, ineligible number on the end of the line.
Well, they didn't inform somebody that they had somebody out of position on the line there. Numerically speaking, it would be a tackle in all probability.
Well, the best field position the Saints have had to begin any series is their own 21-yard line.
5-yard penalty, their second, shoves them back to the 11. First down, 15 yards to go. That made a difference of about 22 yards in field position. Jeff Groth is back in there now. He comes wide to the near side. And wide to the right is Tyrone Young. Deuce backfield. Now they shift him into the deuce. Young moving in front of George Rogers. And a give to Rogers. Cuts back. One Bear slid by him, and he gets out to about the 14-yard line.
Otis Wilson came over, and Singletary hit him at about the same time, but Wilson reacted very quickly from the right side of the Bear line as the Bears were in a 46 defense that time.
Otis playing his best football. Gain of 4 for George Rogers out to the 15-yard line. Second down, 11 to go for the Saints, 12:37 to go first half. The Bears leading on 2 Bob Thomas field goals, one of 48, one of 46 yards.
Might have been a different story last week if he kicked those two of about the same yardage.
And had they gotten the one they threw away at the end of the first half. They go to their ace formation. Double tight end alignment, wide receiver either side, single setback, and it's Wayne Wilson, takes one step to the right. Back to throw, Richard Todd. He steps up, he throws a wobbler down the middle, incomplete. Oh boy, there might have been a hooking call made against Richardson as the wide receiver make that the intended receiver. Tyrone Young knew that ball was short and wobbly and tried to hook back into the middle of the field, but he was off balance and it came down harmlessly, incomplete.
That's right, Joe. I was almost looking for a flag there. The Bears are blitzing on the play. They had Wilson coming outside, Singletary up the middle, and you got to give credit to Wayne Wilson for picking up Singletary and preventing the sack.
Here comes Durson, Schmidt, and Richard Dent into the lineup, replacing Harris, Keys, and Otis Wilson. Third down. 11 to go. Saints at their own 15-yard line. Tyrone Young wide to the near side, along with Groth wide to the right is Lindsey Scott. In motion, Groth back to throw, looking, Todd throws under heavy duress, incomplete, and there's going to be a push-off there. It may be against the Saints.
Against Frazier, I think.
Well, Frazier and Tyrone Young, and Young pointed to himself. Who, me? Now let's see what the call is going to be here. Somebody shoved.
Holding defense.
Well, it's on Les Frazier. Oh, my. Pass interference call gets the Saints out of a hole, and more importantly, gives them a first down.
I'm not sure that ball would have been completed anyway.
I don't think it would have. I think it was overthrown.
That's the second one on less than 2 weeks, is it not?
Can't recall.
Although I think he elbowed somebody going down the far sideline against Dallas last week, but he didn't think he did.
That was one of those either-or calls. Could have gone either way, maybe not even a call at all. Bob Phillips across the way with a big white Stetson and the cowboy boots. They give him a first down on the 5-yard penalty, the first marked off against the Bears today.
His son Wade is the defensive coordinator for the Saints.
Wide to the near side comes Tyrone Young. He's caught 8 passes for 18-plus yards and 1 touchdown, a 32-yarder. Wide to the right, Lindsey Scott. I formation. Quick pitch to Rogers. Cuts back in. He's got a hole. He's to the 25, to the 30. Cuts back. Gets away from Al Harris. He's across the 45. Stumbles to the 47-yard line. Harris will get credit for the tackle. He half-turned him, but couldn't bring him down at the 40. And the big, thick-legged Rogers carried for another 7 yards off balance before hitting the turf at the 47.
Boy, he's a powerful runner. 225, 6'2", out of South Carolina, of course. #1 draft pick, but he's only gained 100 yards once this year, and that was in the opener against the Falcons when he got 102 yards.
Well, he may do it well and then some today. He's got 71 yards and 9 carries.
Not a bad average.
Outshadowing Walter a little bit today on Walter's day. First down for the Saints now. 47-yard line, New Orleans territory. I formation. There may be an audible here now as Richard Todd hollers out to the near sidelines. Jeff Groth split wide this way. Scott wide to the right. Back to throw. Little pass out of the left side to Gajong. And he tripped up and knocked down by Otis Wilson, who grabbed him by the shirt collar and the trousers and spun him around and knocked him down for a short gain, maybe 2 yards on the play.
Otis did a nice job. He had him all by himself over there, and he didn't buy the fake, and he came in and made the grab.
Kind of an awkward-looking tackle, but he made it. Give him just short of the 50-yard line, a gain of 3 on the play at second down, and a long 7 to go.
When you're out there man-to-man against a running back, you grab anything you can.
That's the first completed pass for Todd today. He is 1 for 7. Give him 2 yards on the play. Second down, 8 to go. I formation. Groth back in motion from the right side flank. And on a draw, they give to Wilson. Lumbers through the middle. Tripped up, hit a second time by Harris and knocked down as he got to the Bears' 44-yard line. Fensick made first contact, straightened him up, and then Harris helped put him down. Well, they got some big running backs, and they're ripping right through the middle.
Fensick, of course, will be on Bear Talk tomorrow night from the Element Sports Bar and Grill, and depending on what the Cubs do, if the Cubs go to Detroit, I will too, and Rich King will do Bear Talk tomorrow night at the Element Sports Bar and Grill.
Third down, a little more than a yard to go, and they get Tim Wilson in there to block. He's a 237-pound running back, and they've got all their tight ends in there. Wing to the right, deuce backfield on third down, short yardage at the Bears' 44. Called by Richard Todd, and the give now to Wayne Wilson trying to run to the outside, and he's going to be forced out of bounds by Mike Richardson, who played him laterally and just guided him into the Saints pitch for a loss of yardage there, back to the 46-yard line. One-on-one, and Wilson probably should have just tried to turn that play up and steamroller Richardson, but he gave ground laterally and just ran out of room.
That's right. Richardson actually used Rogers' momentum against him and taking him out of bounds. Had Rogers, or not Rogers, but Wayne Wilson, had he cut it upside, Joe, maybe he could have steamrolled Richardson a little bit because he certainly had a weight advantage there.
Now Jeff Fisher is back in single punt safety for the first time today. And the youngster, Brian Hansen, set to kick it away. He was a ninth-round pick this year out of Sioux Falls. Well, they got some kind of place kicker up at Michigan State. There's a snap, a good one, outside rush. He steps up, gets the kick away, hangs a beauty, a wobbler to the near sidelines, out of bounds at the 2-yard line. My goodness.
Isn't that something?
Disputed placement there. A lot of the fans thought that ball went into the end zone. A 44-yarder, so he's hit one out on the 1, and now one on the 2-yard line. 9:38 to go first half. The Bears backed up to their own goal line again, but leading 6-0 on WBBM AM. Both passing games in the hole here today.
We've had 3 punts down inside the 3-yard line.
Richard Todd is 1 of 7 for a net of 2 yards passing. He's been sacked once attempting to pass, losing 13 yards, so the Saints are -9 in the passing department. McMahon has been sacked 3 times, although one he went down on his own. And he has completed 1 of 3 passes for 9 yards in the first play from the line of scrimmage. So the Bears are minus 13 in the passing game.
Denver now leading Detroit 14-7 second quarter, and Minnesota leads Tampa Bay 14-7 second quarter.
How about those Broncos? All right.
We beat them, what, 27-zip?
Yep, they were never entered here. Suey, double wing to the left. Payton the only setback, and McMahon just sneaks it straight ahead, gets to the 5-yard line. A pickup of about 3. It'll bring up second down and 7. And McMahon, we might mention here, despite the stiff, sore lower back and the bad passing hand, has scrambled his way for 118 yards and 14 carries, an average of 8.5 coming in here today.
That's right. All the talk's been about his hand, but it's his back that hurts worse than the hand. And you can see the padding. He's got stuck there back at the lower part of his back.
Second down, 7. The Bears with a little more operating room now at their own 5-yard line.
Looks like he's got a purse back there.
Wide to the left, Willie Galt. Wide to the near side, McKinnon. Now they shift out of the backfield, winging Suey to the near right side outside the tight end, Emery Moorhead. Now they send Suey in motion through to the left side. Got to give to Walter Payton. Tries left guard and tackle, goes down in a big pile at about the 7-yard line and shoved back.
Well, that's tough yardage.
Yep. Whitney Paul, the right side linebacker, helped stuff Walter on the running play. Paul and Waymer were in there. That'll bring up third down now and about 5 yards to go. Walter?
Miami and Pittsburgh. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Walter with 45 yards.
Okay. Miami and Pittsburgh are scoreless in the second quarter at Pittsburgh. New England and Cleveland are tied at 3. St. Louis and Dallas are tied at 7. Philadelphia and Buffalo are tied at 7. Indianapolis and Washington are tied at 7. And Kansas City leads the Jets 6-0, same as the Bears, leading the New Orleans Saints 6-0.
Give Walter 3 on that play, a very short 3, 46 yards for the day. Double wing to the right side. They send McKinnon in motion. Snap into the end zone. McMahon sidesteps the pass rush. He's going to go to the 10, takes the slide to the 14. He's got the first down. Oh, he got out of there just in time. They were just about to snap the noose shut, and he broke out to the left flat, then cut upfield and took the slide before they could unload on him. Whitney Paul will get credit for making the tackle at the 15 of first down.
Yep, nobody did unload on him, unlike some previous games we've seen, and Johnny Paul even helped them up.
That is only the third first-half first down for the Bears, but it comes at a very critical time here. First down at the 15. Bears lead it 6-0. We're halfway through the second quarter.
And the Bears working against the wind right now.
Wide to the left is Galt. They have a wing left, deuce backfield. Suey on the right, Payton on the left. Now they send McKinnon out of the wing in motion to the near right side. Give to Payton on a sweep to the right. He's got a couple of blockers. Becker and Bortz cuts back inside. Hit, knocked back down, and he got to the 17, and that was it. A fine driving tackle by Dave Waymer.
That looked like student body right, didn't it?
Frank Watlett, the free safety, also came up and put a helmet into Payton. A gain of 2 on the play. Second down, 8. And Walter finding the yardage very tough to come by now.
Walter's got a new car waiting for him when he goes by Jim Brown's record. It's a Ferrari Lamborghini. It's sitting down there in the garage behind the end zone to the north.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have to put a new parking space in that bus warehouse he's got.
It'll do 180 miles an hour. It looks like it came right out of Le Mans.
Where's he going to run with that?
I don't know, but I can get to work in 10 minutes in that car.
Slot to the left, deuce backfield on second down, 8. Again in motion. Coming through to the right side is McKinnon. Give to Walter. Walter cuts back. Goes down at the 20. Just when it looked like he might cut back to the left and pop out of there. Low driving shoulder tackle that time by one of the inside linebackers, Dennis Winston. A fine play.
What cop is going to be able to catch him in that car?
Well, they'll just throw a net on him. They'll blast the bridges. He'll run out of running room somewhere.
Be a scene out of the Blues Brothers, huh?
Third down. 5 yards to go. Now Walter with 51 and 10 carries. His average coming down severely here in the second quarter. He popped a 19-yarder early in the game.
It's got intakes on it that make it look like a 727.
Probably suck all the wind out of the whole state when he fires it up. Wide to the left now, McKinnon. Wide to the near side, Willie Galt. Deuce backfield on third down, 5. Bears at their own 20-yard line. More of the Saints are coming. They show blitz, and now somebody jumps left side.
Looks to be Moorhead.
Well, Moorhead, maybe a second Bear as well, as the Saints jammed 3 men up there, and they were all starting to climb all over one another to get to the passer.
62.
That's Bortz. I think the whole left side moved, really. So that's a second 5-yard walk-off against the Bears, puts them back on their own 15 and brings up a third down now and 10 yards to go.
Well, the Saints sure weren't disguising that blitz.
I
Well, they
guess not.
just couldn't wait. They were drooling up there.
Moorhead comes out. Let's see if they put Bashnagel back in or whether it was Saldi. It was Bashnagel. Saldi's on the near sidelines. So the Bears going with 3 wideouts now. A third down, 10 situation for their own 15-yard line. They send Galt wide to the left with McKinnon. Bashnagel coming wide to the near side, the short side of the field.
Saints don't show blitz here, and actually they rarely blitz out of the nickel.
Out of the spread. In motion, McKinnon, direct snap, goes to McMahon, scrambles, grabs, sacked inside the 5. That's the 4th sack here in the first half. And James Geathers out of Wichita State, their second-round draft choice this year at 6'7", 267, comes up with his 4th sack of the year. Well, McMahon just didn't have any time to look downfield at all.
No, not much at all, Joe. And the Saints have had, well, as I said, they came in with 23 sacks in 5 games. They're averaging almost 5 sacks a game, and they got 4 here already.
Jitter Fields, a 13-plus average on punt returns, back in single safety in Bears territory at the 45, and Finzer 9 yards deep in his own end zone will kick it away. He needs a boomer here to match the one he had in the first quarter.
But he won't get it against a 9-mile-an-hour wind.
Well, here's the kick. Got it away. He got a flutter. And it's taken at the 45 in Bears territory by Fields. Runs right up the middle and is just rolled under by about 4 Bears. Over the top went Calvin Thomas, but Sean Gale low-bridged him and made the tackle on the play at the 40. 5-yard return of a 39-yard punt. And the Saints take over with their best position of the day at the Chicago Bear 40-yard line.
5-yard return.
First time they've been closer to Bear territory at the start of a drive outside of their own 21-yard line.
Penalty against the Bears. Somebody released too quickly. Now let's see. I think the Saints would want the ball there, but they're going to bring it back.
Yeah, I would have taken it there. Well, we'll see
now they're having a change of heart. They want to wave it off and take it right at the 40-yard line.
Holding 63 offense. Penalty is offline.
That's Hilgenberg.
Yeah, Hilgenberg.
His brother is with the Saints. Joel was at 4th-round draft choice this year out of Iowa.
So the New Orleans Saints will have it in Bears territory at the Chicago 40 when play is resumed on WBBM AM. Well, thank goodness it hadn't started to rain yet here at Soldier Field. In fact, the carpet is almost dried out here. I'm Joe McConnell along with Brad Palmer. We're happy you're with us today, and hopefully we'll bring you 2 things. Walter Payton becoming the all-time rushing leader in the NFL history, and more importantly, a Chicago Bear victory. The Saints have it, though, first down to the Chicago Bear 40-yard line. The Bears up by 2 Bob Thomas field goals. High formation, balanced offense, wide receiver either side. Back to throw. Looking over the middle, Todd throws, and a great catch this time by Hobie Brenner, the tight end, who's dropped a couple, and he caught that ball in a sandwich at the Bears' 22-yard line, and one of the Bears a little slow to get up.
It's Todd Bell who had him in man-to-man coverage that time. I think he just got the wind knocked out of him. He'll be okay.
Bell and Fensick bookended him on the play, but he held on to the ball inside the 22. We'll call it the Bears' 21, a pickup of about 19 on the play, and that's the first pass really completed downfield by either man.
Well, good play action that time to try to slow down the linebackers a little bit, and Hobie Brenner has pretty good height advantage over there on Todd Bell. Brenner's 6'4".
Scott wide to the right in motion through to the right side. From the left is Growth. High formation, give to George Rogers through the line, tripped up, balls forward to about the 17-yard line. It was Steve McMichael who got an arm on him and knocked his props out from under him. So they'll spot the ball at the Chicago Bears 17-yard line, and they'll bring up the second down and about 4 or 5.5 to go. You're listening to Bears football on WBBM AM in Chicago. Boy, Rogers having a heck of a first half, 75 yards now and 10 carries, and the Saints have been the dominant team physically with 4 quarterback sacks, and they have stuffed the Bears' running game as well.
Both teams minus in the passing department.
Slot to the right. High formation, give to Rogers, up the middle, strips through one man and barrels his way to about the 11-yard line where he's knocked down there.
George Rogers.
Tyrone Keys and Al Harris finally grapple with him enough to bring him down, but he goes over the 80-yard mark with that carry, and the Saints appear to have a first down. Let's see how they unstack now. The ball would be at the 11-yard line. They needed to get to the 12.
A little short, Joe.
I guess so. The spot across the way,
apparently. I'm sorry. No, now they're going to move it ahead. It is going to be a first down.
Well, they got the marker across the way, which is not the official marker. It was just inside the 12.
Yeah, it's a first down, but originally where the ball was spotted, that it wasn't, but now it is.
First down at the 11-yard line. The Saints driving. That's their 7th first down of the game, although they're only 1 of 5 in third down opportunities. Tyrone Young wide to the right, Growth in the slot to the right. Deuce backfield now. Gajong and Rogers, called by Richard Todd. And a give to Rogers, tries the left side, and he stacked up as he got inside the 10 to the 9. Great second effort, but Fensick had him pinned.
Great read by Fensick, Joe, coming up from free safety that time. He met him head on just about at the line of scrimmage. Short gain in the play.
Gain of 2, second down, 8. Ball at the Bears' 9-yard line. 3:20 to go first half. The Bears leading 6-0. Hadn't been much offense except on the ground today, what little there's been, and the Saints have run the ball much more effectively than have the Bears, the NFL's #1 rushing team. Slot to the right. That's Young and Growth. High formation. Second down, 8 from the Bears' 9. And Todd hands off to Rogers. Goes to the right, angles back to the left, gets to the 6. He's stacked up there, and a flag is thrown. Fensick again augmenting the pile with Dan Hampton.
The umpire threw it, indicating usually that's holding when the umpire throws a flag.
That'll bring him back 10 yards.
Holding.
Yep, that's going to be the third call in the first major against the Saints. Bears have 2 5-yard penalties here in the first half.
Well, I'd like to be an umpire. Now, the umpire is the guy who stands right behind the defensive lineman. He's right there in the middle, the eye of the storm. He's got bodies going every which way.
Still second down.
That, to me, is the toughest job out there.
It was either Edelman, the left guard, or John Hill, the center. I'm not sure what number he gave. 10-yard walk-off, nullified about a 5-yard run or 4-yard run by Rogers, and that puts him back on the Chicago Bear 19-yard line.
It was on the center, John Hill, 13th year to Lehigh.
At the 19.
Oh, look at their depth chart a year ago, Brad. Hill has put on 20 pounds this year.
264 now.
Yep. 245 a year ago. Slot to the right. They've got their ace formation. Gajong is the setback. Double tight in alignment. Now they may be audibleizing because Todd turns around, says something to Gajong. Now to the wide receivers. Give to Hokie, and he's going to be grabbed. He slips off. He turns to 20. He's to the 15 and knocked out of bounds. Hartenstein had him 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage and slipped off. Todd Bell finally knocked him out of bounds with help from Fensick on the near side. He picked up about 4 yards when he might have lost 3 or 4.
Yeah, rare miss by Mike Hartenstein. Mike playing with that torn cartilage in the rib cage today.
So now the ball at the 15-yard line. That brings up third down and 14 yards to go.
Hard to believe he missed them, but
Boy, he had him dead to rights.
wasn't a costly miss anyway.
Now made about an 8-yard difference in field position. Now brings up third down and 14 at the 15-yard line. Slot to the right. Wide receiver. Scott to the near side. Wayne Wilson the setback. Big call here for Richard Todd. Now they send Wilson in motion to the right where they have the flanker. Taking the deep straight pass drop as Todd floats one in the right corner of the end zone. And it's a touchdown to Wayne Wilson as he beats Singletary to the ball. On a third down and 14 for the 15-yard line. Todd hit the running back in the right corner of the end zone, and the Saints have tied the score at 6.
He ran a corner pattern against Singletary, had a step to the outside, and Todd did a great job in laying it out there in front of him. Not much Singletary could do about that after he got beat to the inside, or to the outside, rather.
Richard Todd's third touchdown toss of the year, and the first to Wilson. I'll make that his third touchdown catch in 10 receptions, so they have used him very effectively. Morton Anderson, the left-footed soccer-style kicker from Michigan State, and Denmark will try to put the Saints ahead, and he does. So the Saints take the lead. They go 40 yards in 6 plays, and they take the lead here with 2:45 to go in the first half, 7-6 on WBBM AM. 40 yards in 6 plays, and on a 3rd and 14. Richard Todd hooked up with Wayne Wilson, and the Saints now have a 7-6 lead. Jack Cameron and Dennis Gentry are both deep, awaiting the kickoff from Morton Anderson, the left-footed soccer-style kicker, who was a transfer exchange student, if you will, and played high school football at Ben Davis in Indianapolis and went on to Michigan State.
Tampa Bay has come back from a 14-zip deficit and now is tied at 14 with the Vikings.
Anderson moves forward, puts it in the air, and he booms one. Boy, that ball's going all the way through the end zone on the fly. That'll be run out to the 20-yard line.
It's a ground rule double. That thing went into the stands on the bounce. Denver leads Detroit 14-7 second quarter.
2:41 to go here in the first half. The Bears will put the ball in play from their own 20-yard line. And we have a timeout. We'll be back in just a moment on WBBM AM. All right, the Bears line it up first down at their own 20-yard line. Galt and McKinnon are wide on either side. I formation. Saints now with a 7-6 lead. Give to Walter Payton. He gets up to about the 24-yard line. Straight up the slot that time where he's upended by Jim Kovach. That'll bring up second down, 6 yards to go. Walter closing in on Jim Brown's record, but he's still a few yards shy.
A gain of 4.
Gain of 4. He has 54 yards. He needs 12 to tie, 13 to break. Sally, the tight end on a strong side right. Slot to the near right side. I formation. 2:09 left to go in the half. This will be the final play before the 2-minute whistle. They give to Walter. Tries to go to the outside. Breaks one tackle. Gets out over the 25 up near the 28-yard line. Frank Watlett tripped him up there. This free safety out of Kansas. And that's going to bring up the 2-minute warning now. Saints leading 7-6 here with 2 minutes to go in the first half at Soldier Field on WBBM AM. We have a third down and a very long 2 or short 3. They're going to give Walter an extra digit there, so that gives Walter 58 yards now and 12 first half carries. He is 8 short. 9 to break. And we have 2 minutes left to go in the first half. The Saints lead it 7-6, Brad.
And Jim Brown not here today, and I think it's just as well. I thought he's been kind of a publicity hound over this whole thing. I don't think he's been very gracious about it, particularly in respect to Franco Harris. He doesn't begrudge Walter that much, but I don't like the way Jim Brown has handled this thing, challenging Franco Harris to a race, and then they couldn't get enough money to stage the race. And he admitted to me in the lobby at CBS that really he was just trying to, in challenging Franco Harris, he was just using that as a chance to get some publicity.
An extra payday.
Well, I don't know about the payday, but he wanted to call attention to some of the ills he sees in the NFL, as he puts it.
Oh, I see.
3rd and 2.
Third down, 2 yards to go now. Long 2. The Bears just across their own 27-yard line. And Walter needs 8 to tie, 9 to break here. 2 minutes to go, first half. 7-6. Saints lead by a point.
Payton will be getting a phone call from a guy in Air Force One after this game, if he breaks the record. Same as President Reagan.
Wide to the left now is Galt. Wide to the near side, McKinnon. They line up Suey as a wing to the right outside the tight end, Jay Saldi, on 3rd down and a very long 2 yards to go. Suey in motion, back to pass of McMahon. Throws it out the left side, hooks up with Galt. He's to the 40, to the 43-yard line. A first down as Willie did a sharp turn and came back. And he froze the outside right quarterback, Johnny Poe, on the play. That's his first grab today. And Willie now has caught 13 passes for 200 yards on the year.
And last week, McMahon couldn't complete that pass.
First down, Bears line up without a huddle at their own 43-yard line. They've still got all 3 timeouts remaining. Back to throw now is McMahon looking, has time this time. Downfield, he's got Galt at the 39-yard line in Saints territory. That's the first time he's had time enough to look downfield. Frank Watlett made the tackle.
Joe, he almost dropped it. He wound up trapping it between his thighs.
First down, an 18-yard pickup. 2 passes to Galt now. Moves the ball into Saints territory to 39. Bears lining up without a huddle. Galt wide to the left. McKinnon wide to the right. Back to throw. McMahon pumps, fakes, dumps it down on the right side. Overshoots Suey, who was covered anyway.
Yep, good
out
play.
Of bounds. That stops the clock.
Smart play, Joe, because he didn't have Suey, so he intentionally overthrew him, and it stopped the clock.
Yeah, Ricky Jackson was draped all over him, legally, of course, and now that stops the clock with 1:07 to go. 2nd down, 10. The Bears at the Saints 39 still have 3 timeouts to call.
Yes, and they have to move the ball at least another 10 yards to give Bob a decent shot because they're against the wind here.
The Saints...
Although I see, the streamers atop the stadium are blowing against the Bears, but they're protected a little bit by the bowl into the stadium.
Well, there's a swirling effect.
Yeah, the wind's not as bad. The streamers atop the goal
are barely moving at all.
Yeah, which is a break.
All right, deuce backfield. McKinnon wide to the near side. Galt wide to the left, and the Saints jump unless, of course, they were drawn off sides.
Well, they claim that...
Jim Wilkes claims they were, yeah.
Number 62.
Mark Bortz, that's his second 5-yarder against Bortz, the freshman left guard who converted last year after being drafted in the 8th round. He was drafted as a defensive lineman, and this is really the first time all year since the regular season began that the Bears' young offensive line has been hard-pressed to protect their quarterback and their runners.
That's the second time that Bortz has moved prematurely.
5-yard walk-off puts them back at the 44. First down, 15 to go. McKinnon wide to the near side, make it 2nd down, 15. Wide to the left now is Galt. Deuce backfield with Suey on the right, Payton on the left. The Saints show blitz, but they don't come. Back to throw now. McMahon has time, wings it over the middle. He's got Moorhead at the 30, battles his way to the 25. That's another first down. 59 seconds to go. Still plenty of time. They've got all their timeouts remaining. Watlett and Gary, the 2 safeties, brought the tight end down. It's Moorhead's 7th catch of the year.
They're going to use the timeout here.
That's fine. 53 seconds to go. I'll tell you one thing, Brad, and we have sat through 8 years of this. This is our 8th year, and I have not recalled a Bear team that can line up without a huddle on 2 or 3 occasions as collectively as this bunch can. That's been a great improvement.
Well, it has. I credit 2 people. I credit Ditka and also Jim McMahon. McMahon, a cool customer as a quarterback. He breeds confidence. He is a competitor, very confident in his own skills, and this is only his 3rd year, not really his 2nd full year. We're hardly into it, and he's been injured. He hasn't finished a game yet, but he's out there on sheer determination and intestinal fortitude. And if anybody can get the job done, Jim McMahon can. A gutty quarterback and a skilled quarterback.
Well, it's good to see the passing game loosening up a bit now. McMahon is hooked up on 3 out of 4, and a total of 4 out of 7 here in the first half. Good for 60 yards. All of the key yards on this drive by way of the pass. 2 grabs by Galt, now 1 by Emory Moorhead, the tight end. So they have the ball now at the Saints' 26-yard line. McMahon, after checking with Ed Hughes, the offensive coordinator, and the head man himself, Mike Ditka, on the near sidelines, after calling his first time out, now rejoins his teammates.
Miami has taken a 7-0 lead in the second quarter at Pittsburgh. Cleveland has gone ahead of the Patriots 6-3 in the second. Kansas City leads the Jets 9-0 in the second. Washington now leads the Indianapolis Colts 14-7. And Buffalo has gone in front of Philadelphia 10-7. No change in those other scores.
Here we go. Walter needs 9 to crack the record. The Bears need 26 to take the lead. First down at the Saints' 26-yard line. Back to throws McMahon. Looking, has time. He throws on the move. He's got his man Moorhead, a touchdown. As Moorhead caught the ball, they're going to bring it back. Holding against Jimbo Covert, who wrestled with the right end. Jim Wilkes on the play, kept him away from McMahon. McMahon ran in front of him and threw on the run. He had Moorhead wide open, but that's going to call back.
Oh boy.
My.
Yep. Well, tough play. McMahon rolled out, bought time. Moorhead sprung free, was all by himself. And it's coming back. Well, there's still time. 45 seconds to go in the half.
Fourth penalty in the first half against the Bears.
Number 74.
Jimbo Covert, all-rookie team, number 1 pick a year ago out of Pitt, doing a heck of a job so far. You know, Covert, at 6'4", 283, was offered no less than 70 scholarships. All-American 2 years in a row with Pitt.
Well, the Bears cost themselves a field goal in the last minute of the first half against Dallas, and so far they've cost themselves a touchdown here.
First down, 20 yards to go from the Saints' 36. Payton needs 9 to break. Wide to the left, Galt. Wide to the near side, McKinnon. 45 seconds left to go in the half. The Saints are picked up as McMahon drops back in the pocket. Has to hurry now. Throws over the middle to Suey. 35, gets a block. He's to the 30. He's to the 20, to the far side. To the square, out of bounds at the 13-yard line, and a flag is thrown. There may have been a late hit. He got to the 13 and got out to stop the clock and was hammered as he crossed the sidelines by Russell Gary, and there may be another penalty attached here, and that would move the ball halfway to the goal line.
Here's the call, personal foul. You called it, Joe. So McMahon had all kinds of pressure. The blitz was on. He got it off to Suey, and Suey got a one big block that enabled him to get to the outside. I didn't pick up the Bear blocker, but he had one key block there, and were it not for that, that play wouldn't have gone the way it did.
Oh, Russell Gary is really upset with that call. That puts him half the distance to the goal line. First and goal from the Saints' 7-yard line.
35 seconds to go, 2 timeouts remaining.
Well, he got steamrollered, and then the second man in really may have drawn the penalty that time. That was Johnny Poe. Now the Bears are trying to quiet down the crowd.
Number 20, defense.
Now they gave a penalty to Gary, the 4-year man out of Nebraska. First and goal to go at the 6-yard line. Payton will not crack the rushing record here in the first half, even if he goes all the way into the end zone here. He needs 9. Single set back is Walter. Slot to the left side. Double tight end. Moorhead on the left. Saldi on the near right. Here's the call by McMahon on first and goal from the 6. Give to Walter. Looking for a block by Becker. Cuts back inside and gets down near the 1-yard line. Tried the left side. Cut back inside. Becker's block, and Watlett knocked him down short of the final stripe. It's second and goal from the 1-yard line. And the Bears now stop the clock for the second time. They've got 1 timeout remaining. 27 seconds to play here in the first half. The Saints leading by 1, and the Bears going for the go-ahead score.
Joe, some people called up after the game couldn't understand why we made Jim McMahon our MVP last week. This is why.
Well, we should also clarify that you could give it to Walter probably 14 out of 16 games, but that's not the idea. We're not passing judgment on who is the best player of a given day unless it's a clear-cut decision. It's one of those things that it's subjective, and we're trying to pass it around a bit.
Well, plus with McMahon, the Bears had a chance. Without him, they didn't.
That's right. And we weren't taking anything away from Walter Payton.
Or Mark Bortz.
Or anybody else that played very well last week, and there were quite a few who did despite the loss to the Cowboys.
Of course, Mark Bortz played relatively well, or played well relatively speaking. His man did get 9 tackles, but all in all, Bortz did have as good a day as could be expected. It wasn't like he had a phenomenal day.
He may have had 9 tackles, and they might not have been against Bortz at all.
Well, true, but I mean, Randy White did have 9 tackles. Well, I think Bortz did the job expected of him, and we didn't take away from that. But
Randy White didn't sack the quarterback, and that's the number 1 primary.
McMahon gave the Bears a chance last week until they just couldn't do it anymore.
27 seconds to go in the half. Second and goal from the 1-yard line. They line up Moorhead tight end to the left. Saldi tight end to the right. Wing to the left. High formation now. Suey the short back, Payton the deep man. Second and goal from the 1. Here's the call by McMahon, and he gives to Walter over the top, and ball is knocked loose. No touchdown was signaled.
I didn't see the ball come loose, but he stopped.
Might have been a helmet. I saw something fly out of there. Walter with his patented swan dive came down on top of the pile, short of the goal line by inches.
There's 12 seconds clock running. Time for one running play and a timeout.
Well, let's get the running play off. And they give it to Walter. Hurdles. Touchdown. He went 4 yards in the air. Came down over the goal line as Walter flew over the line of scrimmage with 3 seconds to go in the half on third and goal from inside the 1. And Payton scores his 3rd touchdown of the year and 81 lifetime on the ground, career-wise.
Boy, there's your 2-minute drill. Talk about coolness under pressure. That clock was winding down, and the Bears were able to get off the running play. And, Joe, had they stopped Walter, you have to wonder if they could have got the clock stopped.
That's what I was worried about.
It was already down to 3 seconds. They might have stopped it with 2 or 1. I'm not sure, but they don't have to worry about it now.
80 yards in 10 plays. Bashnagel will hold. Thomas will try. 12-7 Bears. 3 seconds to go in the half. Hilgenberg over the ball at center. There's a snap. The ball is down. The kick is up, and it's good. 13-7 Bears. And they'll have time for the kickoff, and that'll do it.
They have struck twice here for touchdowns. One was called back. They didn't let that get the best of them. They came back and got a touchdown, and now lead 13-7, getting back the touchdown the Saints scored just 2 minutes and 42 seconds ago. So Walter Payton now with a total of 64 yards. He's 2 shy of Jim Brown's all-time NFL rushing record. Next carry of the second half.
That'll make it easy, won't it?
Pretty easy. Well, the Bears, I'm glad they didn't self-destruct here in the last 2 minutes. They didn't cost themselves. They were able to overcome their mistake this time, unlike a week ago.
That's right. How often have they managed to score a touchdown after one was called back on the same drive over the last few years? So they're set now for the kickoff, and that'll do it for the first half. And I'm sure that Thomas won't try to kick this one too deep. He'll just bounce it down along the carpet and hope for good coverage.
Ted Albrecht will be along at halftime with his comments, as well as after the game.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm glad he got in there.
Oh, yeah.
80 yards in 10 plays. Payton over the top to cap it. Binzer moves forward and punches it down the middle, rolling inside the 20. Picked up, fumbled by Duckett. He's got it. And he runs to the far side, and he's going to be gang tackle, knocked out of bounds. He lost the ball, followed up by the Bears at the 25, but time has expired here. The first half is history, leaving Walter Payton 2 yards short of tying Jim Brown, free of setting a new rushing record. But more importantly, the Bears, with a touchdown with 3 seconds remaining, have regained the lead over the Saints here at halftime. So the Bears lead 13-7 as we get set to start the second half of play on this of one of the most historic days in Chicago sports history, period. Walter Payton, of course, and the importance of the game, and the Cubs and the Padres later on for the National League Championship. Moving forward, Morton Anderson puts the toe into it, booms it way downfield. Backing up is Gentry, 8 yards deep. He'll not return it, and the Bears will put it in play from their own 20-yard line. They've changed the collegiate kickoff rule this year. If you put it through the end zone, you give the ball to the opposing team at the 30-yard line.
Big roar as Walter Payton goes out.
Walter needs 2 to tie, 3 to break. Jim Brown's all-time, lifetime National Football League rushing record in total yardage. Bears will put it in play. First down, 10 yards to go from their own 20-yard line, leading 13-7. Second half just getting underway.
Well, they can either give it to Payton or maybe try a play action to Payton and maybe come up with a big play right here on the first play of the second half.
All right, here we go. McMahon asks for quiet. Wide to the left is Galt. McKinnon lines up wing to the right. I formation. Payton needs 2 to tie, 3 to take the lead, break the record. They send McKinnon in motion to give to Walter. Walter tries the middle, doesn't get an inch.
Nope, they were looking for him.
Oh, I guess. 4 gold and silver helmets wedged in there. Kovacs will get credit for the stop. It's second down, 10 yards to go. The Bears really can't afford to worry about Walter's rushing record right now. They've got to try to play this series of downs just like they would at any other time.
So it's almost like the Bears want to get the thing out of the way here. Now, there's nothing really wrong with handing the ball off to Walter Payton any time, but I got to think the Saints are so geared to that right now, they might have been able to strike with a big play right there.
Second play of the second half from the 21-yard line. Walter needs 2 to break the record. High formation. Wing to the right is McKinnon. Golf wide to the left. They send McKinnon in motion through to the left side. Quick pitch to Walter. Looking for the record. Cuts back. He's got it. He's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher, surpassing Jim Brown on his second carry here in the second half. And that's the equivalent to Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. And listen to the standing ovation. And look at the media coming out.
Yeah, it looks like somebody just clinched the pennant and the fans coming out of the stands, but it's all media. And that wasn't
over to
supposed to happen.
Congratulate Bum Phillips. He's got the ball. He's holding it aloft. He's coming over to the near sidelines and a high five with teammate Todd Bell as the rest of his teammates come out to congratulate him at the 50-yard line. I've never seen this happen in a football game. Well, all of the media has flooded out there right in the middle of the third quarter.
Well, one crew broke out there first. It was probably NFL film. And then once the second guy went, everybody went. And as a result, they've got about 100 cameramen down there with minicams surrounding Walter Payton, who is standing down there still on the field, holding up the football. And Johnny Rowland gives them a high five, and I think they would like to get this game back underway.
Yeah. You got to wonder what it's going to do to the momentum of the two clubs involved. That was a 6-yard run. Walter cut it back in off left tackle, and it'll be 3rd down and 3 when we resume play, Brad.
Now the cameramen are suddenly starting to disperse. Walter waves them off. Walter holds up a right hand above his head, and the crowd responds with yet another ovation. This crowd is still on its feet as a result of this tremendous achievement by Walter Payton. In his 10th year, he breaks the all-time NFL rushing record by Jim Brown, although Brown has many other records that will keep him in the record books for years to come. He averaged 104 yards a game for the Cleveland Browns, had a career average of 5.2. Walter Payton won't touch either of those. He's averaging 91 yards a game, Walter Payton is, and has a career average of 4.4 yards a carry.
Another thing to think about, Walter could set another record today if he goes for 100 yards or more, and it would leave him at the top of the heap. He's tied with Jim Brown with 58 100-plus yard rushing efforts in his career.
And one thing we forget, he's off to the best start of his entire career. He's averaging 124 yards a game. Were he to average 125, he'd break O.J. Simpson's single-season record.
3rd down, 3 yards to go. Let's get back to the business of winning this football game. There's the call by McMahon. And a fake to Payton, a gift on a misdirection play to Suey. Breaks a tackle. He's to the 37, 38-yard line. What a beautiful play that was. They sent Payton right. The flow came right, and an inside handoff to the short man, Suey. He caught everybody flat-footed, cut it upfield, and picked up a big gainer for the 1st down at the 38. And we've got a Saints player down, Frank Warren, the left defensive end.
Also here today.
Well, they really can't afford to lose too many defensive linemen. Bruce Clark's already down with a groin injury, and Warren was playing in place of him.
Warren with the first sack of the day, one of 4 first-half dumpings of McMahon by the aggressive New Orleans pass rush, and looks like they're working on his right leg.
Yes, his right knee.
Bruce Clark led this club in sacks. You know, he was the #1 draft pick a few years ago of the Packers, disdained the Green Bay offer, and played for 2 years with Toronto in the CFL before coming back. Big 280-pounder out of Penn State. Now they're helping Frank Warren up, and he goes out for a play. So Gaithers will be back in there now. The Bears have a first down at their own 38-yard line as Suey on a nifty 10-yard run.
And they're pouring champagne in the private box occupied by the Payton clan. Mrs. Payton's there, members of the family, Bud Holmes, and, of course, his close friend, Roland Harper.
He and Roland were almost inseparable. They came into the league at the same time. The only difference was Walter was a #1 pick, Harper the 17th round choice. And, of course, they became teammates in the same backfield. They were roommates on the road. They were almost inseparable, and Roland Harper, of course, came close to a 1,000-yard rushing effort in one of our years about 4 or 5 years ago, and was a very, very solid, underrated football player.
Indeed he was. He was one of the heart and souls of the football team back then, and the two are still very close. They hunt and fish all the time. And still the people are on their feet.
Well, let them cheer for an hour. Let's hope they've got a lot more to cheer about later on tonight.
Open some more champagne tonight.
I just saw Lee Stern walking in the halls of the press box at halftime. He's the owner of the Chicago Sting, and congratulations to Lee and the Sting for winning their second North American Outdoor Soccer League championship. And I told Lee, I hope we got 2 more in the city, and he said, I'll second that.
It's too bad, though, Joe, that they kind of got lost in the shuffle this time around.
That's true, but things have been happening almost too fast and furious to comprehend here in the Windy City in the last week or 2.
Well, do you realize that the Cubs clinch tonight? Walter won't even be a headline.
He'll be the lead story in about every paper in the country with the exception of maybe Chicago and San Diego. Here we go. First down, Bears at their own 38-yard line. And a give goes to Suey on a delay up the middle across the 40 to the 41. A pickup of about 3 on the play. Stacking up inside there low, Jim Wilkes, along with Ricky Jackson, the outside left linebacker. Second down, 7 yards to go. Saldi replaces Moorhead at tight end.
Of course, Walter Payton's record was inevitable. The Cubs clinching the National League pennant was not inevitable, no matter how many TV reporters guaranteed victories on Thursday and Saturday.
Second down, 7. Bears at their own 41. They lead it 13-7. Game just underway here in the second half. Payton has broken Jim Brown's rushing record. Suey in motion out of the slot left. On a draw, they give to Payton. Sidesteps 1 man, sidesteps 2, and gets a yard when he should have lost 3. Wouldn't that have been something? He'd gone over the record and then lost yardage and dropped below it. Wilkes and Kovacs brought him down. Walter really had to struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage. Third down, 7 to go.
Would he have to give the ball back?
Return everything. Hold the phone.
They give the ball back. And
would have been something, though, had it been the last play of the game.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden he needs 2 yards the next week. They've already given him all this stuff. Well, it won't happen.
Well, that ball is on its way to Canton, Ohio, where someday Walter Payton will be enshrined along with a number of other Chicago Bears. I think the list is up to about 20 now.
Now they're going with 3 wideouts. Backstagel wide to the near side. Slot to the left. McKinnon out of the spread. Direct snap to McPhail on 3rd and 7. Throws it out on the right side. Caught by Walter. Takes a dive out of bounds. Short of the first down, though, at the 46. He needed about 2 more. Whitney Paul, the right side linebacker, covering on the play. And that'll bring up a 4th down and a deuce to go. Payton with his first catch today. That's his 16th reception of the year. He has not busted a long pass play this year. He is longest gainer as a receiver, 17 yards. So Jenner Fields drops back in single punt safety, and the rookie, Dave Finzer, in to punt it away.
That's the 46.
Bears at their own 46-yard line. They needed about 2+ yards to get the first down and keep the drive going. Saints do not look like they're going to rush this one.
I'll be darned, the Bears do have 20 Hall of Famers.
There's a snap. No rush. Here's the kick. One man did come in. High floater, not too deep. Strategic kick. Taken by Fields, who then stepped up. They'll give him probably about the 16-yard line, maybe the 15. So we have a timeout on the field of play here. That was a 41-yard Finzer punt, no return. 11:23 to go in the third quarter here at Soldier Field in Chicago. The Bears lead the Saints by 6 on WBBM AM. Joe McConnell along with Brad Palmer, Ted Albrecht, and the rest of our crew here at Soldier Field in Chicago. 11:23 to go third period. The Saints take over. First down at their own 15-yard line. The Bears lead 13-7, and Walter Payton is number 1 in all-time rushing. High formation, slot to the near left side. Richard Todd, he threw a touchdown pass in the last possession for the Saints in the first half. Give now. Rogers going to the outside, and he's chopped down. He's cut down by a low driving body block by Todd Bell, who knocked him off his feet as he tried to turn the right side corner. He picked up 3 on the play. Second down, 7. Todd Bell, hard-nosed, strong safety out of Ohio State, who was Buckeyes were stunned at West Lafayette. And who would have thought the Boilermakers picked to win as many as 2 or 3 this year would be the only undefeated team in the Big Ten right now.
You know, they talk a lot about Hampton, Singletary, and Fensick. You can put Todd Bell in that category.
Slot to the near left side. High formation. Gajong, the fullback. Tailback Rogers, called by Richard Todd. Another quick pitch to Rogers, trying the strong side sweep. Cuts back, and he is cartwheeled again by Todd Bell, who waited for him down on his knees and flipped him over his shoulder and upended him at the 21-yard line. That'll bring up third down. Then about, well, we'll call it 4 yards to go.
Todd Bell is probably the most versatile player the Bears have in that defensive unit. Plays like a linebacker in the 46.
He doesn't get a lot of interceptions, but boy, does he stuff the run, and he makes a lot of big tackles. Now Schmidt and Durson come into the secondary. Richard Dent to augment the pass rush as they pull Harris, Keys, and Otis Wilson. They go to their 46 now, and the Saints now are going with their ace alignment. Single setback is Gajong. Three wide receivers, slot to the left side. Now in motion coming through to the left side is Lindsey Scott out of Georgia. Long call by Todd. Quick pitch to Gajoon. Going to try to sweep the right side. He's got the first down. He's chopped down at the 26-yard line by Fensick, but too late to keep him from getting the first down yardage. Well, they sent everybody to the left and then swept Gajong back to the right side, and he picked up the first down by about a yard.
Hokie Gajan, a Raging Cajun out of LSU, was a 10th-round draft choice a couple of years ago.
He can throw the ball, he can catch it, he can run. He's one of those all-purpose type players, and now the rains begin to fall, and they're coming down pretty good.
Well, the Bears have always been a rainy, weathered football team.
Wide to the near side is Johnny Groth. Wide to the right, Lindsey Scott. High formation. First down for the Saints at the 26. Back to put it in the air is Todd. Looking now, scampers to his right, being chased by Hampton. Rolls to the right sideline, throws back over the middle to Rogers. Intercepted and dropped. The Bears had it played beautifully, and Harris had it kicked loose just as he had it all set to go the other way.
Joe, that's just the thing that has haunted Richard Todd throughout his career. When you put the pressure on him, he has a tendency to throw the ball up for grabs. Just then, he did the very same thing. Harris should have probably had it. Maybe he would have if it wasn't for the rain.
Well, we got a driving rainstorm here now. All the umbrellas and the rain gear come out. It had been overcast all day with a threat of rain, but the rain just started falling about 2 minutes ago.
And then you know what they say, never throw it late down the middle, but that's what he did.
Ace formation, the single setback. And the give goes to Wayne Wilson. He's collared. He gets away from Singletary, breaks another tackle out over the 30 to the 33-yard line. And I believe it was whistled dead before the ball popped out of there. A couple of other missed tackles there for the Bears, who have missed 5 or 6 today. And that time the Samurai had him and let him go, and that doesn't happen too often. Well, they had him pinned for a loss, and he managed to turn it into a sizable gain. That'll bring up third down, 4 yards to go. Wayne Wilson out of Little Shepherd College with 6 yards on the carry.
Well, the Bears have to be inspired. Walter Payton's got the record. They want it to be a winning game in which he gets the record. They've got the lead. This defense can really tee off.
Frazier now is going to stay with Tyrone Young on the near side. Slot to the right. Ace formation. Single setback is Gajong. Back to throw. They'll make that Wilson in there. Todd rolls to the right, being chased by Otis Wilson, and he's hit as he throws. Incomplete. He just got that ball away as Wilson was thundering step for step right behind him.
That's right. The Bears were in a 46 defense that time, and Wilson was the red dog. Red dog meaning a blitzing linebacker, and he was in there all the way, chasing Todd to the far side of the field.
Yeah, he ran over Wayne Wilson on the way. Now, Dennis McKinnon will drop back in single punt safety as Brian Hansen gets set to kick it away again for the Saints. 8:17 to go, third period. Bears lead 13-7, trying to snap a 2-game losing streak to New Orleans, although they own a 6-4 edge in the 10 previous regular season games. Backing up with the 17 now is McKinnon. Here's the snap. Kick is away, no rush. End over ender. And McKinnon will have some running room from the 16 to the 20, the 25. Hurdles a man and comes down across the 30 to the 32. He looked like Payton getting shot out of a cannon that time as he leaped over the first would-be tackler, came down on the second. And it was Joel Hilgenberg, the younger brother of the Bears center, making the stop on the play, a 50-yard punt and a 16-yard return. Jay and Joel Hilgenberg facing each other here today, both offensive centers by trade. Time out on the field of play. The Bears lead it 13-7 on WBBM AM. First down for the Bears now at their own 31-yard line. They lead it 13-7 midway through the third quarter with the rains now not falling quite as hard, but steadily. Looks like Brian Anderson is wide to the left. High formation. And a play action fake to Payton, taking the deep roll to the left, now coming back to the right, being chased with McMahon, dumps it out to Payton, down on one knee, gets back up, still on his feet, breaks away at the 30, slips away at the 35, he goes to the 38, he fumbles the ball, but it's going to be ruled dead. Oh, break there. Dave Waymer finally collared him after Walter eluded a couple of would-be tacklers dancing around. McMahon had to dump that ball out as a safety valve at the very last minute as he was about to be run down by Derlin Moore.
Joe, he looked like a water bug there. That play started to unfold like that great run against Kansas City that you'll never forget.
That is, to me, the most outstanding individual effort I've ever seen on a single play, and I've seen Walter come up with literally hundreds of them, but that one that went about 16 yards, he broke about 5 or 6 tackles that day, didn't even score a touchdown, but that run stands out above all others.
Joe, he caught that ball one-handed.
All right, they line it up. Wide to the near side, Golf. Wide to the left, Anderson. Deuce backfield. Second down, 4 yards to go. Give to Walter, left guard and tackle. Out to the 40, spins and lunges to the 42, and maybe a little bit more than that. Frank Warren tripped him up.
First down.
Walter got a nice inside block off left guard and tackle, and knifed through there and got the first down by about, I would say, the width of the football. So the Bears now will try to chew up the yardage and the clock at the same time, leading 13-7. 6:50 to go, third quarter.
Bears lead the NFL in ball control. They are averaging 37 minutes in possession time this year.
Percentage-wise, going to be about 63 or 4%. McKinnon wide to the near side, Galt wide to the left. Deuce backfield, Payton on the left, Suey on the right. Quick count, back to throw, McMahon looking, pops over the middle. He's got his tight end, Jay Sowley, short gainer to the 47. Jim Kovacs, the linebacker, brought him down.
That's a rare catch by Sowley, only his 5th catch this year.
Make that Winston and Kovacs there, the 2 inside linebackers. It'll be second down. And about 5 yards to go. Moorhead in, Sowley out at tight end. Sowley, of course, with Ditka when he was an assistant coach with Tommy Landry with the Dallas Cowboys. 6 minutes to go, third period. Bears lead by 6, and they have the ball near the midfield stripe. Second down, 5 from their own 47.
Rain's let up a little bit. It's a fine rain now.
Deuce backfield, hand off to Suey, sweep to the left side, and they're going to string it out, but he turns the corner to 50, to the 45, to the 44, and out of bounds. Matt Suey just quick enough to get things done. Johnny Poe finally helped ride him out of bounds, although I think Suey was going out for the most part with his own momentum, but he turned that sweep to the left side and picked up the first down.
The Bears will be at St. Louis next week, and the Cardinals lead Dallas at halftime, 14-10, and that game is in Dallas.
Well, that is not going to be a soft touch, believe you me. The Big Red, one of the fine young football teams in the country, and in fact, I would have to say in the National Football Conference, the Bears and the Cardinals, I think, are the 2 most improved football teams in the conference.
Amen. Tampa and Minnesota tied at 21 halftime. Denver leads Detroit 14-7.
Derlin Moore was shaken up. He is playing in his 159th consecutive game today. That is a New Orleans Saints record. 40 career sacks for him, 273-pounder, his 12th year out of Oklahoma. He must be to them what Doug Buffone was in our early years of covering the Bears to the Bears.
And his backup is already out with an injury. That's Don Thorpe, who was the MVP of the Illinois Rose Bowl team a year ago.
Right.
6th-round draft pick, and he's out with a neck injury. So they're going to have to make see what they're going to do for a nose tackle.
I think they've got Reggie Lewis in there.
96. Well, no, Don Thorpe is playing, the neck injury and all.
All right. First down, 10 yards to go. The Bears in Saints territory at the 43-yard line. High formation, give to Payton. Payton looks left, veers right, gets to the 40, and is stopped there. Dennis Winston, one of the 2 inside linebackers, combining to bring him down with help also from Ricky Jackson, who is all over the field of play, even though he's the outside left side linebacker.
You know, I thought I was interviewing Don Thorpe out at Pasadena last year. One of the Illini PR people pointed him out across the pool and said, that guy over there, that's Don Thorpe.
Did you wind up with Butkus?
Wound up with Bob Sebring, who is a red-shirted linebacker. He's a starting left linebacker this year, but he went through with the whole thing, and I found out quite by accident before I used it that I didn't have Don Thorpe.
Great reporting.
It took 12 hours before Illinois could figure out who I had.
On a draw to give to Suey, and he is knocked down right at the 40-yard line by Ricky Jackson again.
Sebring went through with the thing. I mean, here's Thorpe is from the Chicago area. Sebring's from California, and he handled all the questions beautifully. And that night, everybody on the Illinois team was trying to find out who the heck I did interview. And finally, 11 o'clock, they came up to me in the lobby, and they had Sebring, and Sebring said he was kind of sorry he'd done that, but it was funny, and I used it anyway.
Geathers and Lewis are into the defensive ends now as the Saints go to the pass rush, and Bobby Johnson in as the nickelback on third down. 7 yards to go. McKinnon starts in motion from the near side, comes back. McMahon takes the straight pass drop, has time, goes downfield, he's got his man, goal! Who dropped the ball at the 22?
Yep.
He hooked right in front of the safety. Make that Johnny Poe, the cornerback that he had turned inside out, and should have caught the ball and might have been able to go the distance had he been able to hang on to it, but we got a wet football now, which also adds to the problems. You're listening to Chicago Bears football on WBBM AM Chicago. So instead of a first down or maybe a touchdown, the Bears will have to punt now.
So the encouraging thing is, though, is McMahon is still able to put the ball in there. You wouldn't know to watch him that he had a bad hand or bad back.
Jitterfield's back in solo safety. Pinzer has hit 2 inside the 20. He'll try to do it again today. And this one, high snap, but he brings it down, gets the kick away. Wobbler, not a very long kick, but it's a strategic kick, and it does bounce inside the 15, out of bounds at the 12, where the Saints will take over with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Bears leading 13-7 here in the third period. Only a 28-yard putt, but as I said, more of a strategic kick. He would have liked to have had it a little closer and maybe hit it a little more effectively, but it got the job done. Timeout on the field of play, 13-7 Bears on WBBM AM. First down, New Orleans Saints at their own 13-yard line, high formation. They send Growth in motion through to the left side, and they give to the tailback, Rogers, and he bumps up the middle, gets to the 15, maybe the 16-yard line. Let's see where they unstack. Otis Wilson, who is playing the finest football in his 5-year career out of Louisville, Bears #1 pick in 1980, made the stop on the play and give him a total of 4 on the play. Second down and 6 to go.
Well, no more than 6 points have ever separated these two teams here.
Ever?
And today.
Oh, okay.
Well,
the Vikes and the Tampa Bay Bucks are tied at 21 in the third period. Of course, that game has a direct bearing on the NFC Central Division standings. Slot to the left, I formation, second down, 6. Rogers having a good afternoon here. Todd with a long call at quarterback. He may be changing the play. Rolls to the right, looks, throws it, dumps it out on the right flat, and a diving grab and drop by Brenner. Well, that was a tough pass to catch. He dropped 2 that he should have had earlier. Al Harris covering on the play and completed pass. Third down and 6 coming up, and Todd now 11, make that 3 of 12 on the day for just 36 yards. Schmidt and Dorson come into the secondary.
Did you have Denver with 21 when you gave that last score?
Yeah, 21-7 over Detroit. I didn't give the score.
Oh, 21-7. Third quarter.
Ace formation, single setback, slot to the right, wide receiver to the left. Third down, 6. Todd with a call from his own 17-yard line. Drops straight back to pass. Looking, throws downfield, and coming back for the ball was young Tyrone Young, and they're going to call a penalty. That ball was 15 yards over his head. He did a comebacker, and Todd threw it deep down the left sideline.
Well, the back judge threw that.
There was no way that was pass interference.
Pass interference.
Well, I didn't see it,
Well,
but
it's offensive. He came back and actually shoved the Bear away from the ball, but nobody had a chance to catch it. That was kind of one of those worthless calls there. Better off not even throwing the flag.
The back judge is Banks Williams, and from up here, Joe, it looked like just a mix-up on the pass route because the ball was so well overthrown.
Oh, yeah. He was supposed to go out and down, and he went out and back up. Came back, and Todd threw that one 15, 20 yards away. So on fourth down, dropping back in single punt safety appears to be McKinnon. He's been there most of the time, although Fisher fielded 1 today. Hanson set to kick it away. On fourth down and 6, the Saints backed up at their own 17. Donald Jordan, rookie fullback from Houston, in their middle, drops off. Here's the kick, and it's a low wobbler. McKinnon takes a high bounce. No, it's going to go over his head. He goes back to pick it up, slips, falls, gets back up at the 26 to the 30, slips one man, gets to the 35, and hit and shoved back. He got about 9 yards on the return. Bobby Johnson, the defensive back, downfield to make the stop. That was a 53-yard punt, but that was about a 25-yard hopping, bouncing roll that made that kick. That was not a very good kick.
We got a hanky.
Way back, and they're going to bring it back. Somebody released too quickly for the Saints, and the Bears want them to bring it back and do it over again.
Why not?
Sure.
Well, it's the first time we've had that. We've had a pretty good punting exhibition here today for the most part.
Oh, look at that Bum Phillips over there with the sunglasses and the leather flak jacket with the bare arms of the cowboy hat and the cowboy boots.
Thinks he's in the dome.
3:03 to go here in the third period. They bring that putt back, and that'll nullify a 53-yarder helped out for the carpet, and they'll get to do it all over again.
This isn't much different than the humidity in New Orleans, is it?
That's true. You mean on a bright, sunshiny day?
All right. Feels about the same.
So the Saints now backed up to their 12-yard line on fourth down 11. This time, Hanson will kick it away from just outside his own goal line. McKinnon waits for it at the Bears' 40.
St. Louis leading Dallas 17-13, third quarter. Jets have gone ahead of Kansas City 17-9 in the third. Cleveland leads New England 16-10.
There's the snap, a good one. He gets the kick away. End over ender. Plenty of room to run at the 41. McKinnon coming to the near sidelines to the 50. Cuts by at the 45, all the way to the 41 on the near sideline. A wall of blockers set up. Raines and Schmidt came over along with Frazier, and they set up a corridor on the near sidelines. He turned the corner and scooted down the sidelines, being knocked out of bounds at the Saints 41 by Glenn Redd. 18-yard return of a 48-yard punt. Timeout on the field of play. The Bears will have it at the Saints 41 with 2:52 to go third period, leading 13-7 on WBBM AM. Well, the Bears have excellent field position to start this offensive foray from the 41-yard line in New Orleans territory. Nice punt return and some nifty blocks set up by the Bears. They lead it 13-7. We have 2:52 left to go here in the game's third quarter. And in case you've just joined us, Walton Payton broke Jim Brown's all-time NFL rushing record in his second carry of the second half. And Now, as we start this drive, Walter with 79 yards and 20 carries today. They've made him work very hard for the yardage. High formation, Galt wide to the near side. McKinnon split wide to the left. McMahon's got all the way at quarterback. Quick pitch to Walter behind Suey's block. Cuts back in. Now turns on the speed across the 40 to the 35 to the 34. Maybe the 33-yard line. Watlet and Gary brought him down, and he slid in that water out there on the carpet as it continues to drizzle here after a very hard rain for 5 or 6 minutes.
Russell Gary, the strong safety, cheated up a little bit looking for the run, but Matt Suey gave him a pretty good block.
A gain of 8 for Walter. Second down, a long deuce to go. So Walter now with 87 yards, closing in on his 5th consecutive 100-plus yard rushing performance. The only game he has not rushed for 100 yards or more this year was the opener. Deuce backfield. Payton on the left, Suey on the right. McKinnon wide to the near side, Galt wide to the left. Saints show blitz. They come with it. McMahon is just going to hang on to the ball and take the hit right there at the 34-yard line. No gain as Kovac rolled to the left and plugged up the hole as McMahon tried to step around the blitzing linebacker.
Yeah, the linebacker was coming over the Bears' left guard, so McMahon tried to sneak it over the right guard, but didn't get anything on the play.
Moorhead out, Saldi in, and also Bortz comes out, and Stephen Humphreys comes in. Now, he was a third-round draft pick out of Michigan this year. He was nominated for a Rhodes Scholar, and he's enrolled at Northwestern Med School, and it could be that Bortz is hurting from that cracked rib, and we might see Humphreys in there at left guard the rest of the way. Third down, 3 yards to go. Slot to the near right side, I formation. McMahon rolls to the left, gives to Payton. Payton wanting to pop outside, steps away from one man, battles to about the 32, and I don't think he got the first down yardage. Whitney Paul finally knocked him down. Play never really developed. That's going to bring up a 4th down, about a yard to go, and the fans here want the Bears to go for it. The wind still out of the south would be against Thomas here.
It would be. It'd be a difficult field goal try for Bob, and a difficult call for Mike Ditka.
Yeah, because you don't want to give the Saints good field territory. Now they've got Bortz back up along the near sidelines. The Bears are going to go for it, it appears. No, they're not.
They're going to punt.
Yeah, they're going to punt. Well, let's see how they line up. We haven't seen a fake punt this year. Watch the the short snap to Bashnagel. Rains over the football. Finzer into punt. Now the Bears shift a bit. Bashnagel's a short man. Nope. Snap goes back to Finzer. He's going to try to kick it out of bounds on the far side. In a very short kick, bounced out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line, and that's how they're going to mark it up. Come on. Where's he going? To the 15.
He only missed it by 5.
Well, that kick was out of bounds maybe at the 11. He walks it up to the 15. That's an 18-yard punt, and despite the second longest punt in Chicago Bear history today, an 87-yarder, Finzer is going to be lucky to average 40 yards if he keeps this up. But he was ordered to do so. You knew it was going to be a short kick, but the referee, I think, cost him about 4 yards on the spot. So the Saints take over at their own 15-yard line. Well, he's averaging 40.1 now with an 87-yard punt.
It's a conservative call, but you can't argue with it. I mean,
they were caught between there.
Yeah, if the Bears go for it and don't make it, then the fans are upset. Why don't you punt?
Slot to the left, deuce backfield. Richard Todd with a call now. And he drops straight back to throw. Looking, dumps it out on the right side. Underthrows his intended receiver, who was covered all the way by Otis Wilson. That was Wayne Wilson coming out of the backfield, and Otis had him like a kid glove that time, and I think Todd just dumped it short and threw it away. He is 3 out of 14 on the game for 36 yards. And that's the gross passing yardage, not the net. Second down, 10 yards to go. The Saints at their own 15. 26 seconds left to go in the game's third quarter. The Bears leading 13-7. A 48-yarder, 46-yarder by Thomas. A 1-yard touchdown dive by Payton just before the first half ended. And for the Saints, a 15-yard pass from Todd to Wayne Wilson. And it's going to be first down all over again because it was a holding call on that last play, and the Saints are backed up inside their own 10-yard line. First down, about 18 to go. Balanced offense, double tight end. Wilson the only setback. On a draw, they give to Wayne. Runs it upfield, and he is end-over-ended by Gary Fensick, who low-bridged him and tripped up his feet as he tried to hurdle him. As he cut back in at the 10-yard line, they give him the 13.
Fensick has had a number of big tackles here for the Bears today, coming up from free safety.
Now they pull Wilson, and Gaijon comes in. Gain of 5 yards on the play. Second down, 10 yards, about 13 yards to go. And that'll be the end of the third quarter. The gun sounds. We've got 15 minutes to go in regulation time at the end of 3. Here in Chicago at Soldier Field, the Bears 13, the New Orleans Saints 7 on WBBM AM.
Breaker, Humble Harry here. You read?
Seattle Sam reading you, Humble. Come on.
The Illinois State Lottery has themselves a new game called a 1 million cash instant game, and they pay off all at once.
1 million smackolas all at once?
You read it right, Seattle.
That much cash could change your life, Humble.
And I'd have to change my Humble Harry handle.
To what? King Cash?
How about King of the Road?
Play 1 million cash instant lottery.
Hello, Rusty. Good old Rusty. Hello, Rusty Jones.
Hi, I'm Rusty Jones, and I'll stay with you. No coffee breaks, no vacation. Protecting your new car with my Car Saver system. I'll keep your car looking great, and a great-looking car's worth more. That's how things are here in the promised land of Rusty Jones' car.
That's why we sing with praises and ride with Rusty. Good old Rusty. Ride with Rusty Jones.
Joe McConnell along with Brad Palmer here at a rainy Soldier Field. Fortunately, it's mild temperatures in the mid-60s today, and the sellout crowd, some of whom have watched Walton Payton set the record and then begun to hurry home, now have left us. But the Bears with a 13-7 lead as we start the fourth quarter. Saints in possession at their own 12-yard line with second down, 13 to go. And the Cardinals down in St. Louis meeting the Dallas Cowboys. What is it now, Brad? 24-13?
24-13. Cardinals lead in the third quarter.
And we'll be at Busch Stadium a week from today.
Tomorrow night on WBBM AM, it's Monday Night Football. The San Francisco 49ers are at the Meadowlands to take on the Giants. It's at 7:50 here on WBBM, following Bear Talk at 7 o'clock, featuring Gary Fensick and either me or Rich King, depending on whether the Cubs go to Detroit or not.
Well, let's hope you're going to Detroit.
All right. I do. You know, Sutcliffe...
You'll love it this time of year.
Sutcliffe is 3-0 against the Padres, and in 20 innings, he's given up only one earned run.
Throw all that out.
All right.
It's scratch.
Well, it is. You know, the Cubs have yet to break their serve, and they've yet to break ours. The Cubs held serve twice in Chicago. San Diego's done it twice at home, and the Bears have to break serve. San Diego doesn't.
The Bears?
I'm sorry, the Cubs. The Bruins.
The baby Bruins. You got the big Bruins here.
And don't forget, when you want the scores, turn to us first. Sports at 15 and 45 minutes past the hour on WBBM AM News Radio 78.
What a mix-up. Wayne Wilson came in late along with a wide receiver, Tyrone Young. They got to get him out of there, as the Saints had already called the play in the huddle. They line it up. Ace formation, single setback. Wide receivers on either side, two tight ends. Here's the call now on second down, 13 by Richard Todd, who's been stymied all day through the air. Takes the deep pass drop, throws downfield, has his man juggled, and it is caught out of bounds to the near sidelines.
Well, he has to have 2 feet down. Now, he juggled it. After he got full possession, did he get 2 feet down?
I think he just did.
Well, the official said he did, and I'm not sure. We're going to get a chance to look at it in the replay. But after you get full possession, then you have to get 2 feet down.
Yeah, he juggled it at first and then held on just in bounds. John Tice
had possession, 1-2. You're right. 3. No question. Good call.
That's his second catch of the year. His only other grab was good for 3 yards and a touchdown. First down at the 29. Big play that time for Todd and the Saints. High formation, slot left, quick pitch to George Rogers. Straight ahead, and he knifes his way across the 30 to the 33. Gary Fensick with a great classic knee tackle. And that'll bring up the second down at about 5.
Fensick must be the leading tackler for the Bears.
Gotta be. Well, Bell's had quite a few hits today, too.
Yeah.
Brad Edelman, their number 2 pick a couple of years ago out of Missouri, is down. He's the left offensive guard, and if he should go down, we might see young Hilgenberg, who was their 4th-round pick out of Iowa. He might be put into the game at center, and they might have to move John Hill over. Well, Louis Oubre, their starter, has been out with turf toe.
Yeah, Edelman and Stan Brock out of Colorado are the top 2 offensive linemen.
Oubre loosening up.
So with 14:42 to go in this football game, and the Bears leading the New Orleans Saints 13-7. Let's take time out here on WBBM AM.
Ace is the place, the hardware store, with everything you're looking for.
Ace is the place for Best Buys of the Month.
Your local helpful hardware man has selected items that are specially priced to save you money.
Shopping at Ace is always a good buy, and Best Buys of the Month make shopping at Ace even better.
Ace's October Best Buys are the Ace heavy-duty trash and lawn bags, which always come in handy for only $1.37.
The Kidda multipurpose fire extinguisher is only $8.99.
And the 2 Ames lawn rakes are also October Best Buys. Plastic or metal, take your pick. They're just $3.99 each.
So come to the participating Chicagoland Ace store near you and get these Best Buys while the supply lasts.
Ace is the place, the hardware store. Best Buys of the month and one thing more. Ace is the place without the hardware man. Ace is the place.
Louis Oubre comes on to replace Brad Edelman, who was helped off the field. Calvin Clark, his teammate at left offensive tackle, fell across his ankle and knee and injured him on the play. We don't know how severely it is, but it did not look good.
So they're bringing back injured players to replace injured players.
Oubre playing now with turf toe, which is a malady common to the carpet in recent years. Slot to the right, I formation. 2nd down, 6. Back to throw. Richard Todd has time now. Steps up in the pocket, rushed up and out the left side, and overthrows his intended receiver, George Rogers, who kind of waved at it with a left hand as it sailed over his helmet, incomplete.
Well, Todd under a lot of pressure that time, and you can credit the defensive line with making that pass go awry.
Well, initially he had time, Brad, but then you're right. He threw it under heavy pressure late. 3rd down, 6 yards to go. The Bears have had 1 sack today. The Saints 4, all in the first half.
Only 1 turnover, and that was a fumbled snap when the center, John Hill, missed the count.
Lindsey Scott wide to the left. Groth and Young wide to the near side. They're in the ace formation. Wayne Wilson the only setback on 3rd down. Brenner the tight end. They send Groth through in motion to the left side. Roll out to the right after a play action faked up over the middle. Incomplete, and a flag goes down. Let's hope it's not a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, Richard Dance. No, it's a hold against the New Orleans Saints.
Well, the Bears will be glad to decline that because the ball was underthrown, intended for the tight end, Holby Brenner, and that'll bring up a punting situation.
Number 78, offense.
78.
Penalty is declined.
Well, that's a new number. Not even listed.
No, it's not listed on anything. They are really digging down into the bottom of the barrel right now, right?
You'd have to look at their injured reserve list. Probably activated somebody just prior to the game today and didn't tell us. All right, Hanson into punt. He's been busy.
I don't even see a 78 over there.
Maybe it was 68 Calvin Clark, I bet. All right, back in single punt safety. Steve McKinnon. There's the snap. Hanson gets it away. Hey, Booms won this time. Slight wobble to it. Waiting for it. McKinnon at the 22. Down to the 25. Stutter step move. Gives ground. Circles back. Runs right into a defender. And down he goes at the 25. All of that for about a 3-yard return. So the Bears will take over. Glenn Redd, a linebacker, made the stop downfield for the Saints. A 43-yard punt and a 3-yard return, and then a 42 yards on the kick. 14 minutes to go. The Bears lead the Saints 13-7 on WBBM AM.
At Lime Rock Park in Connecticut, there's a series of racing turns called the S's. That was a Honda Accord hatchback straightening out the S's. At Sears Point Raceway in Sonoma, California, turn 7 is a hairpin. The Honda Accord hatchback goes around it very smoothly. There it went. And at the Daytona International Speedway, the Accord hatchback can go very quickly down the straight. That was quick. But here in Chicago was perhaps the Accord hatchback's greatest challenge. Of course, its long list of standard equipment made it all seem like a Sunday drive. The Honda Accord hatchback. It can handle the S's, the hairpin, the straightaway, even the loop.
Well, Brian Hanson, the rookie kicker, we've got 2 rookie punters today. But Hanson of the Saints has averaged 45.7 yards a punt. And yet it was Spencer who got the 87-yarder and is just averaging 40 yards a kick here.
Tampa Bay has gone ahead of Minnesota 28-21 down at Tampa. We'll be down there in 2 weeks.
Tell you what, the Bucks are bouncing back. They could even up at 3-3 on the year, and the Vikes would be at 2-4. Tampa Bay would move into second place today. And of course, if the Bears don't win this ball game, they can move into a tie. High formation, wing to the right. Peyton and Suey, the setbacks. First down from the 25-yard line. Coming in motion through to the near left side is McKinnon. Quick pitch to Walter. Wants to sweep the near left side. Cuts back at the 25. Runs into a man. Gets out over the 30 and squirts to the 32. Kovac knocked him off his feet. A gain of about 7 on the play, and Walter never really did have an opportunity to open it up that time. He just kind of felt his way through.
Well, it looked like Dennis Winston, the inside linebacker for the Saints, was running interference for Walter. He had his back to the play. He was in the posture of an offensive lineman. Walter just crawled into the back of him and shoved him forward 5 yards, and I don't even think Winston knew who was doing the shoving. It was Walton Payton.
I think you're absolutely right. Second down, 3 yards to go. Walter was 7 there. Now 95 yards and 23 carries, 5 yards away from his 5th consecutive 100-yard-plus effort. And a record-setting 59th. Deuce backfield. In motion from the slot left is McKinnon going through to the right on second down free. McMahon drops back to pass. Has Prime. Throws over the middle. Has Suey. He's to the 40, 45-yard line at first down. Little safety valve.
Yep, against the blitz.
Ricky Jackson, the left side linebacker, made the stop on the play. And the fans now beginning to pick up what I hope will be a familiar chant of Suey, Suey here. First down at the 45. Moorhead out. Saldi back in at tight end with a play call. The Bears on the move now here early in the fourth quarter, leading 13-7. It's been a hard-hitting football game.
Half-hearted blitz that time as they brought one of their outside linebackers and an inside linebacker.
First down, Bears at their own 45. McKinnon wide to the near side. Galt wide to the right, Deuce backfield. Payton needs 5 yards to hit the century mark for the 5th straight time and the 59th in his career. There's a reverse. Payton handing off. McKinnon, he's to the 50, got a couple of blockers. He hurdles a man at the 40, the 35, and out of bounds. Taking one of the officials with him. Russell Gary finally knocked him out at the Saints' 34-yard line. The flanker reverse with Payton taking the handoff and then giving it to McKinnon on a sweep to the right side and a brilliantly conceived and executed play. First down for the Bears. That's their longest ground gainer of the day, I believe.
Well, they caught everybody by surprise, and look who his lead blocker was, Jim McMahon. And McMahon threw a block.
He knocked Watlett out of the way. Or Waymer, rather, the left cornerback, and McKinnon just hurdled both of them and kept on going.
Well, I'm glad he threw that block with his non-passing shoulder.
Yeah. Beistegel wide to the right. McKinnon getting a blow here for a play. Wide to the near side, it's Brian Anderson. He's been in there on a couple of downs. Deuce backfield, first down from the Saints' 34. Payton needs 5 to go over the century mark. And a play action. No, gives to Suey. Sidesteps a man. He turns the corner at the 35 to the 30-yard line. He sidestepped Whitney Paul in the backfield, who had him dead to rights, and maneuvered around the near left side and picked up about 5 yards on the play before Watlett could knock him down.
Yeah, good block by Andy Frederick. He had 2 men to block, and he was able to get something on both of them.
Well, the Bears now picking up their rushing here as the game wears on. They have gained 154 yards on the ground. They came in with the leading ground-gaining offense in the league with 217 yards a game, which is more yards than they have given up totally on defense per game.
I'll tell you, the big block, though, is Kurt Becker. He pulled and cut down the outside linebacker, Whitney Paul.
Suey, 30 yards and 7 carries. He came in with an even 200 on the year. All right, they shift out of the deuce into the eye. Payton dotting the eye on second down, 5. And a give to the short man, Suey, runs right into a stack and gets maybe a foot. Whitney Paul, one of several New Orleans Saints there. Jim Wilkes got a piece of him. Who didn't?
They faked the pitch to Payton to go outside and gave off inside to Suey, but there was the whole defense for the Saints was waiting up the middle.
Third down, 4 yards to go. Give Suey a short yard on the play, more like a foot. Saldi out, Moorhead in at tight end.
Okay, big play here, but the Bears are in field goal territory, and they do have the wind at their back.
Rather see 7.
Yep. I'd like to see anything right now. A 6-point lead's pretty precarious.
Well, they send Beistegel wide to the right. Galt wide to the near side. Double wing formation to give to Payton right through a big hole to the 25 to the 21-yard line, the 20-yard line, and Walter Payton has just set a second NFL career rushing record today. First, he surpasses Jim Brown in total yardage, and now he goes over the 100-yard mark for the 59th time in his career, and more importantly, a first down in scoring territory for the Bears. It is truly Walter Payton's day. Let's hope it also belongs to the Bears.
It would really put a damper on it if the Bears weren't to pull out the victory, in addition to getting these marvelous milestones by Walter Payton.
Walter with 103 yards and 24 carries. First down at the Saints' 20-yard line. Give to Walter, right side, battling forward to about the 16. Ricky Jackson stopped him.
Yeah, he's got 104 yards already. His average this year is 124. If he keeps that pace up, he'll be 16 yards shy of O.J. Simpson's single-season record of 2003. 16 yards, 16 games. All he has to do is pick up the average 1 yard a game, get it up to 125.
I'll tell you what, I think he could go for the whole ball of wax. I think he can go for over 2,000 yards. No reason why not. This is his 5th straight 100-plus yard rushing effort. Second down, 6.
It's a big average. You have one off day. It's tough to get it back.
Well, but he gets a 220 or 30-yard day. That'll offset that one bad game. Slot to the left, wing to the right. McMahon, a quick lob to the left side. It's caught for the touchdown by McKinnon. A little quick lob as he took 2 steps back, and on the back foot, he just hung it up like a parachute on the little fly pattern in the near left corner of the end zone. McKinnon circled under it like a center fielder, gathered it in, and stepped into the end zone for the touchdown.
Joe, that's a play. I've been asking why we haven't seen more of that play. It's that corner pattern. You throw it over the receiver's head. In fact, that's the play I would have liked to have seen in the last minute of the first half last week against the Dallas Cowboys. The cornerback's very ordinary, and that was against the safety that time. That was that 2-deep zone by the New Orleans Saints, and the man he beat was Russell Gary, the strong safety.
Now, Bashnagel to hold, Thomas to try for the extra point. Third touchdown toss of the year by Jim McMahon. There's the snap, the ball is down, the kick is up, and it's good. And with 9 minutes and 10 seconds to go here at Soldier Field in Chicago, the Bears with Walton Payton setting 2 NFL records today, leading the New Orleans Saints 20-7 on WBBM AM.
On Saturday, October 13th, something's going to happen that's never happened before. In over 120 cities, hundreds of thousands of people will join together to run in the 5-mile Stroh's Run for Liberty. Not for themselves, but for something much bigger, to help restore the Statue of Liberty. This is made possible by Stroh's Beer, a founding sponsor of the statue's restoration, with the support of Brooks Shoes. You can be part of this historic event by picking up an entry form wherever you buy Stroh's and Stroh Light Beer or Brooks Shoes, or call 1-800-USA-1986 to enter, and your entry fee will be helping the statue get back on her feet again. So, this is not just for runners, it's for everyone. But most of all, it's for her. The Stroh Brewery, Detroit, Michigan.
Call 1-800-USA-1986 for more information or to enter the Stroh's Run for Liberty nearest you.
Will kick off. 75 yards in 8 plays. McMahon capping it with a 16-yard scoring lob to Dennis McKinnon, his first touchdown catch of the year, and it's now 20-7 in favor of the Bears. Duckett and Jitterfields are deep. Here's the boot now by Finzer. He booms it in, over-ender, down the middle, back into the end zone, 4 yards deep. Field is going to bring it out. He's to the 10, coming to the near side, cuts back at the 15, spins, and cartwheels his way to about the 18-yard line. Brian Breisnagel tripped him up on the play, a 20-yard return, and the Saints will take over inside their own 20 at the New Orleans 18, trailing the Bears now 20-7 with 9 minutes to go in the football game. Well, what a day for the Bears and Walter Payton. Walter Payton and the Bears, they're one and the same.
22-yard return. First and 10 for the Saints.
Yeah, they're pretty much synonymous the last decade.
Well, Rodgers with 96 yards and 15 carries could possibly be deprived here with 9 minutes to go now. You figure that Todd is going to put the ball up. Single setback offense. That's Wilson in there. Play action fake to him. Todd takes the drop, throws deep down the left side. Caught by Brenner. Tackled by Fensick at the 36. A first down.
Fensick had a man-to-man coverage because the Bears had a blitz on, and Brenner turned it to the outside. Got a step on Fensick.
A holding call. It's going to be called back.
Well, there's a big break for the Bears.
That's a second good pass play. And plus a run that's been called back for the Saints today.
That's probably the best pass Todd's thrown all day, though, because he was really under pressure and put that ball right on the money where Fensick couldn't get to it.
That's a 7th penalty for 49 yards against the
Number
Saints.
82, offense.
John Tyson.
The Saints, Joe, just have trouble buying a pass. I mean, they've had a number of passes dropped. They've had some called back by penalty.
Penalty against Tice, the tight end that caught that pass a minute ago on the near sideline.
Oh, Bears can really tee off here.
First down, 19 to go. The ball at the Saints' 9-yard line. Double tight end alignment, single setback, wide receivers on either side.
46 defense.
Richard Todd with a call. Now looking to the right side, down to the left side, maybe audibilizing.
Blitz.
Straight pass drop, throws a deep sideline pattern down the near side. Richardson in front of the receiver, and it's picked up. It's picked up by Tyrone Young. He cuts back at the 20. He's up at the 18. It looked like Richardson was in position to make the interception, and the young Tyrone Young picked it up and kept on going all the way to the Bears' 17.
Okay, I said blitz, but it really wasn't a full blitz. The only man dogging in the play was Otis Wilson. That doesn't make it a blitz. The Bears were rushing 5 men on the play, and Todd, again, threw a beautiful pass.
Well, I thought it was going to be picked up, Brad. A 74-yard pass play from
Well, you're right, Joe. It was a jump ball, to be honest with you.
Todd completing it to Tyrone Young to the Bears.
He was going to complete that one to somebody.
17-yard line.
It was a two-man situation because Richardson was also there. He just got out-jumped for the ball by Young.
And then slipped off, didn't make the tackle.
Young is 6'6".
Rogers, the lone setback now. Double tight end alignment to give to Rogers. Tries the left side, bounces off his own man, and is duped by Fensick again, who got down low on the ground and stuck that helmet in the shoulders between his legs and just upended him inside the 15 at about the 14-yard line. Fensick has made tackle after tackle.
He really has had a big day, but do we give proper credit to Mike Singletary for saving that touchdown there?
No, we didn't. I was so surprised that Tyrone Young caught the ball, trying to catch up with the play.
Yeah.
At the 14-yard line, 2nd down, 7. Rogers now with 99 yards and 16 carries. It looks like he'll get a chance to go over the 100-yard mark. Double tight end alignment. Young wide to the near side. Growth wide to the left. Rogers the only setback. Quick drop now by Todd, who throws a lob in the right corner. Incomplete. They're going to call pass interference against Richardson as they went to Young again on that same kind of pass that the Bears just scored on when McMahon lobbed one up in the right corner of the end zone and McKinnon ran under it. Now they're going to call offensive pass interference. And Tyrone Young can't believe it.
No, they're calling offensive holding against the New Orleans Saints, Joe.
That's what I'm talking about.
So I thought you said offensive pass interference. Well, calling holding. It could be offsetting penalties here. Let's see if there's two flags.
I only saw one.
Well, if it was the one, unless it was on the receiver that was guilty of the hold.
That's just what we said. It's against the receiver.
Oh, okay.
Tyrone Young.
Okay. I was looking for an offensive pass interference call there.
So was I. I think that's what we got.
Well, maybe we did. Anyway, the Bears had a blitz on that time. I didn't see the hold, did you?
Number 89, offense.
That's on Tyrone Young, and I looked at the instant replay, and I didn't see a foul. I saw Young kind of trip up and go down. Well, that's going to mark the Saints back now to the Bears' 24-yard line.
Well, Mike Singletary saved a touchdown in that catch by Tyrone Young, because Young, after grabbing the ball away from Richardson, turned around Fensick on the play, and Fensick was able to slow him down enough to allow Singletary to come up from behind and make a touchdown-saving tackle.
Growth wide to the left, Young wide to the near side. Gajong is in there now as the single setback. He can throw. Todd with a call, drops straight back to throw. Looking into the middle. He throws one into the end zone, knocked up in the air, incomplete. Double coverage, tipped away, and almost caught on the deflection by Otis Wilson. But it was Richardson and Fensick who knocked the ball away from the intended receiver, Tyrone Young.
Yeah, he threw that ball into a crowd there, and he was lucky he didn't get it picked off, either off the pass itself or off the deflection, because the ball bounced back toward a couple of Bear defenders.
Now Wayne Wilson comes in at running back, replacing Gajong, and also back in Lindsey Scott at wide receiver. The Saints are 3 out of 10 in third down conversions today.
That's Fensick again who broke that one up.
Fensick and Richardson together. Scott wide to the left, using 3 wideouts now instead of 2 tight ends. Growth in the slot inside Tyrone Young on the near right side. Sucked back is Wilson, back to throw is Todd on third down, looking, gets it away just in time, and it's knocked away. Brenner went for the ball. Richardson was there, and it's incomplete at the 2-yard line, just inside the pylon on the right near corner.
Bears laying back in the zone defense that time, wanting to give him anything sharp but nothing long, and Richardson that time went up for the ball and made contact.
I'll tell you, Brenner almost acted like the defender there and almost took the ball away from him for the completion.
Yeah, Brenner's pretty big, 6'4", and he's going against Richardson, only 6 feet. And a big weight differential to boot.
Field goal does the Saints no good. They're going for it on 4th down. They trail 20-7 here with 7 minutes to go. They would still need a touchdown and a field goal if they kick the field goal. Growth and Scott wide to the near side, Young wide to the left. Single setback is Gajong. Here's the 4th down call, 17 yards to go from the 24. Back to throw is Todd, rolls to the right, looking now, he's running. He is going to be caught from behind and pulled down as he's thrown up, still trying to pass the ball. Coming in from behind was Richard Dent to knife him down at the 17-yard line.
That's the biggest play Dent's made today, and he came up from behind Todd. Todd must have felt comfortable. He was thinking about running for it. As wise he didn't, but he had a lot of time, but he took too much time. Dent sneaked in from behind and made the tackle, and the ball goes over on downs.
Timeout on the field of play, 6:50 to go in this historic football game at Soldier Field in Chicago. The Bears lead by 13 over the Saints on WBBM AM.
Our newest suitery is now open in Deerbrook Mall. So for a limited time only, all suiteries are celebrating with grand opening markdowns that save you 40 to 80%. Save on fine suits, sport coats, top coats, raincoats, and jackets. Exclusive Chicago streetwear, even our Mondo Uomo European collection. All at grand opening markdowns. But we can't offer these prices forever, so get to your suitery now and save 40 to 80%. For suitery locations, dial SUITERY.
Joe McConnell along with Brad Palmer here at Soldier Field. Out of downs, the Saints. The Bears take over now. 6:50 to go, leading by 13. Well, Brad, we were trying to analyze that last play, and I really think that Todd was still looking to pass, even though he gained 7 yards on the play. I think he lost where he was on the field.
He had to, because I thought he was looking to pass.
Well, he was. He slowed up, and that's what allowed Dent to catch up from behind.
So he was already 7 yards past the line of scrimmage. He was past the point of no return. He should have kept on going and got what he could, but chances are he wouldn't have got the first down.
All right, Walton Payton has 107 yards and 25 carries. It's an average of over 4.
So he'll get some more here because the Bears want to use up some clock.
6:50 to go. They line it up at their own 17-yard line. Deuce backfield, slot to the near left side. McKinnon and Galter wide. McMahon with a call. Give to Walter. And he breaks through out to the 20, scoots to the 22-yard line. He picked up 5 on the play, 112 for the day. Jim Kovach made the stop on the play. It's second down 5.
Joe, I find it curious. The Saints know the Bears are, I would think, going to run the football, yet they leave their safeties back. They are not really crowding the line of scrimmage right now. As I said earlier, Bum Phillips' philosophy is not to give up the long pass, and I guess he's still going to ride with that now, even though they're down by 13 and the Bears are eating up the clock.
Galt wide to the near side, McKinnon wide to the right. High formation, second down 5. Quick count and the give to Payton, and he is somersaulted short of the 25-yard line, although his feet were out over the 25. He came down. I guess they're going to give him the 25. So that'll bring up third down and about 2 yards to go. Moorhead out, Saldi in at tight end. Now they put the ball back at the 24. That was the correct call. Third down, 3 yards to go. Well, 16 seconds to go on the 30-second play clock. The Bears taking a lot of time in the huddle now. 5:40 to go.
This play will be to a running back, either on the ground or in the air. But either way, they'll get it to a running back, I would think.
High formation, slot to the near left side. McMahon, who's going all the way today, hands off to Payton. Payton tries the middle and is knocked down short of the yardage. Tried to move the football ahead a yard after he landed on the carpet, but they'll give him the 26. Now the Saints will stop the clock for their first time out here in the second half. They have 2 left. So we've got 5:25 to go. They called a timeout here early at this point, but they trail 20-7. The Bears with a punting situation here on 4th down and about a yard to go.
Well, they've got a great game going at Arrowhead. The Jets leading Kansas City 17-16 in the 4th quarter. And New England leads Cleveland in the 4th quarter by that same score, 17-16.
A win today by the Cardinals, who were beating Dallas by 11 in the 3rd period, would even them up at 3-3 and knock the Cowboys down to 4-2 in the NFC Eastern Division race. Giants at 3-2 will take on the undefeated San Francisco 49ers tomorrow. There are only 2 undefeated clubs left here as we go into the 6th week of play with the 49ers in the NFC West and, of course, the Dolphins in the AFC East, and the Dolphins are playing the Indianapolis Colts today. Shouldn't be much trouble there.
The Giants, my upset special this week.
Jeff Groth now drops back in single punt safety. Jitter Fields has been there earlier. And the Bears, with Finzer about set to kick it away, with 5:25 left to go in this football game. The Saints now with just 2 timeouts remaining.
Other 4th quarter action. Tampa Bay still leads the Vikings 28-21. Denver still leads Detroit 21-7. Miami leading Pittsburgh 31-7. Philadelphia in front of Buffalo 20-10. Skins lead the Colts 35-7.
Well, they've got Hilgenberg in there to center now. Normally, Dan Raines has been centering on punt situations. Could be that Hilgenberg, the normal center, may be a little bit better with a slippery football here. Snap a good one. Finzer gets the kick away. And a low driving spiral. And Groth falls backwards, making a fair catch flat on his back, really, at the 31-yard line in Saints territory. No run back, of course. And it was a 43-yard punt.
But the Saints got a little heart flutter on that one.
I expect they did. So they'll take over at their own 31-yard line. We have a little more than 5 minutes to go. Clock looks like it's beginning to short out at the south end.
A lot of fans leaving early. Guess they want to catch that Cub game, huh?
What does that start? About now?
About 3:05, I think. 3:05, 3:20, something like that. 3:20.
Slot to the near side. Wide receiver to the left. 3 wideouts in there. Single setback. Richard Todd at the helm. John Hill over the football. First down for the Saints at the 31. And a give to Gaijon, who got a nice run up to the 40-yard line, just short of the first down, tripped up by Mike Hartenstein. Hokie.
Well, interesting.
Gaijon.
Yeah, Hokie Gaijon. Interesting call, Joe. They need 2 touchdowns here, and they can't afford to do much running.
Well, Hokie's got 47 yards and 6 carries today. What a name. Slot right. Give again to Gajong, and there's a flag thrown. He gets by 1, 2, almost the third linebacker, but that Singletary slipped him around the shoulders and knocked him out of bounds at the 47-yard line after he ran right by Harris and Wilson.
Joe, what do you think's going on down there? If you're the Saints, you're down by 2 scores. You're back in your own territory. You got less than 5 minutes to go, and
they've already used a timeout to stop the clock, which was early. 5-yard. Well, Gajong was in motion before the ball was snapped, and that'll nullify his game there, and that'll set him back 5 yards. Gajong, 5'11", 225 in his 4th year out of LSU, better known as Louisiana State down in the Bayou.
St. Louis 31, Dallas 13. 4th quarter in Big D.
All right, Wilson now the setback. Slot to the near right side, Growth in the slot. Wide to the left is Scott. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. Ball by Richard Todd. He takes a quick straight pass drop, throws a deep pass down the left side, overshoots his intended receiver, incomplete. The closest man to the football was Fensick, who was the second man covering on the play. He was covering deep, Frazier short.
The receiver turned inside and the ball went outside.
Well, that's Tyrone Young. He may be running the wrong routes occasionally. They call him Ty in the Sky because he's a great leaper, and they like to throw that little alley-oop, which they tried a minute ago.
Well, you know, Dennis McKinnon was a free agent out of Florida State, and Tyrone Young is a free agent out of Florida.
Ty in the Sky, 6'6", 192.
High in the Sky?
That's what they call him.
All right.
Skins over the Colts, 35-7. Here we go, 3rd down, 6 now. Saints need a first down badly here from their own 35. Todd straight back to pass. Has time, dumps it out of the backfield to Wayne Wilson to the 40, to the 45, to the 47, and a first down. Singletary brought him down with a shoe-top tackle. So the Saints get their first down. 4.5 minutes to go. Bears lead 20-7.
Clock is running.
Line it up without a huddle. Scott wide to the near side, Growth in the slot. Young wide to the left. Wayne Wilson the only setback in what they call their ace formation. On the first count, Todd takes the snap, drops back to pass, throws it downfield, overshoots Brenner. Covered on the play by Dorson. Oh, that was Johnny Growth he threw the ball for and threw it way over his head out of bounds on the near sidelines. That stops the clock with 4 minutes and 12 seconds to play and brings up a 2nd and 10. Gajong gets set to come in, gets the play call from the far sidelines.
Well, beginning at 5 a.m. every day, John Holtman and Felicia Middlebrooks keep you informed as soon as you wake up. For the latest news, sports, weather, and traffic, turn to WBBM AM first.
You better be Purdue fans or Holtman will be intolerable this week.
That's right. He'll be bullish tomorrow.
All right. Triple wing to the right. Actually, double wing, slot right. Now they send Young in motion through to the left side. Gajong is the running back. Back to throw is Todd. Looks, pumps, throws left side. Has his man out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That was Tyrone Young, who had some daylight over there as they played him soft. Dorson and Bell were covering on the play, but neither one of them close enough to do anything about the completed pass, and it's a first down, and call it the Bears 34.
Of course, you talk about Holtman. You were kind of giddy in yourself when I walked in the booth. I wondered what happened, and you're still celebrating Purdue's victory.
Sure. First down now. The Saints in Bears territory, just inside the 35. They send Young wide to the left. And again, Growth and Scott are wide to the near right side. Gajong, the running back. And they give to Hokie. Slides to the right, coming to the near sidelines. He's grabbed by Terry Schmidt and collared in as he crossed the 30 to the 29. Schmidt had just enough speed to reach him, and then Singletary helped polish him off. Well, 3:53 to go.
Yeah, they're using up a lot of time doing this.
They sure are. They can use up a lot more. George Rogers, by the way, who's out of there now. 99 yards and 16 carries today to lead the Saints. On the first count, Todd takes the pass drop, looking over the middle. Incomplete. I thought he was going for the tight end. It was out in front of John Tice. But downfield at the 15-yard line, trying to make the diving grab was Tyrone Young, but it was just a bit underthrown. I'm not sure who that pass was intended to.
I think it was intended for Jeff Growth, who made the diving attempt at the ball.
Young now, Todd, 7 of 20 attempts for 159 yards.
Miami leading Pittsburgh 31-7 in the fourth quarter, and Buffalo has scored. It's now 20-17. Philadelphia leads the Bills.
Third down, 5 yards to go. The Saints at the Chicago Bear 30. Slot to the near side. Now they send Growth in motion back towards the line. Young wide to the left, now being chased, rolling out to the right is Todd, and he's hit as he throws a wobbler. Tipped up in the air, incomplete, knocked away by Richardson, and Schmidt, intended for Lindsey Scott, was underthrown, and Todd got dumped just as he unloaded the ball.
By Dent again.
Yep. He was just a fraction of a second from putting him away. They'll bring up fourth down, 5 yards to go.
Richard Dent, that's his forte, is pass rushing. He's an 8th-round pick from a year ago out of Tennessee State.
So the Saints regroup possibly for one last time. 3:28 to go in the game. The Bears leading 20-7. The Saints got a touchdown late in the second period, and that's been it.
Well, they don't get a first down here. It's sayonara for the Saints.
Gajong back in now at running back. They send Lindsey Scott wide to the left. They send Tyrone Young and Johnny Growth in the slot to the right. Tight end John Tice on the play on a strong side right. Single setback is Gajong. Here's the call now by Richard Todd on fourth down and 5. Drops back to pass over the middle. Incomplete. He threw the ball behind his intended receiver. That looked like Gajong. No, it's going to be John Tice, the tight end. The ball was thrown behind him, and the Bears take over. So the Bears now regain possession of the football, winding the clock down with a relatively safe 13-point lead.
Well, the Bears only had 1 sack today, but they put a lot of pressure on Richard Todd. You won't see that in the statistics.
That's why quarterback hurries are so important. They're sometimes more important than the sacks because they cause the interceptions.
So the Saints have gotten down to the Bear 17 and now the Bear 30-yard line, and both times they've run out of downs.
Well, Walter will get a few more cracks at that Saints defensive line. He has picked up 117 yards in 28 carries. He led Gerald Riggs of Atlanta by just 2 yards. Top 2 rushing spots in the NFL coming in today. Bears are going with a double tight end alignment with Bashnagel split wide to the near left side. I formation, Suey and Payton. Quick pitch to Walter. Here he comes to the left side. Gets a block by Suey. Cuts back. Gets across the 30 to the 32. He picked up 2 on the play. Second down, 8 to go as Glenn Redd, third-year man out of Brigham Young, made the stop along with Jim Wilkes. And now the Saints stop the clock for the second time. They've got 1 timeout left. Still 3:15 to play.
1 timeout left and little hope. The Bears lead 20-7. They'll go 4-2 in the NFL. And let's see what Minnesota is doing.
Hey, no 3-5 start this year. You realize that? This is the best start in 8 years.
That's right.
Who won 3 before? In fact, 1 year in 78, they won the first 3. The only problem was they lost the next 8.
Things are looking up here for the Bears. Let's see, they went into this game leading the Minnesota Vikings and Tampa Bay.
Well, Tampa's going to beat the Vikings, looks like.
That's right. So the Bears will lead one of those teams or continue to lead one of those teams by 1 game. But Detroit in trouble. They're losing 21-7 to Denver.
Boy, who would have thought the Lions would start out at 1-5?
Well, it wasn't us.
Nope. Nobody here. Bashnagel wide to the right, Deuce backfield, second down, 8 yards to go. McMahon with a call, quick pitch. There comes Suey to the near side, looking for a block. He gets it, turns the corner to the 35, and got a bowling balls his way up to the 40-yard line. Johnny Poe knocked him out of bounds. Boy, Matt Suey has had an impressive game today, although you won't see a whole lot about him in the print tomorrow, because it's all going to be, and justifiably so, over the years, given to Walter Payton and the overall team effort. But Suey has picked up 38 yards and 9 carries today. A very effective blocker and a crunching runner.
Bear MVP, Joe?
Well, it's the day of days. Got to go to Walter.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. If you don't give it to Walter today, I guess when are you? But it's not the third time he's won it. But we do try to spread it around. But we've got to select Walter Payton as our MVP.
It's been Walter's day.
It's his day.
Thomas would be the only other guy you can consider, along with McMahon, who's played all the way here. There's a give, and I believe that's Calvin Thomas in there for the first carry, and he knifes it ahead over the 40 to the 43-yard line, but a flag was thrown, and I think the Bears might have jumped. Glenn Redd, the linebacker, made the stop.
Fensick and Bell have had big days defensively for the Bears, and you got to give credit to the entire Bear defensive line. The Bears haven't gone to the blitz of the Red Dog very much today, and they put pressure all day on Richard Todd.
Well, Calvin Thomas got about 3 on the carry, but the Bears are more willing to take the 5-yard offside or encroachment penalty against the defensive unit of the New Orleans Saints here, so that'll bring up a third down and yard to go. Well, the nose guard, Derlin Moore, who was shaken up and is back in there, playing in his 159th consecutive game, was the man guilty of the encroachment.
Here's our first final. The Jets have beaten Kansas City 17-10. 17-16,
Well, the Jets 4-2 by the slimmest of margins, a 1-point win. All right, I formation. Wide receiver to the right, both ends in tight. First down for the Bears now at their own 45-yard line. They got a first down, virtue of the 5-yard penalty. Give to Walter, looking for some running room, surges ahead, maybe got a couple. That'll be second down and 8 yards to go at about the 47. And the Saints call their final timeout. I don't think I've ever seen a team use all 3 of their second half timeouts with 3 minutes to go. The only time the clock could be stopped now, short of a Bear timeout or an injury, would be on the 2-minute warning.
Yeah, we've seen some unusual goings-on here in the last 5 minutes of this football game as far as I'm concerned.
Well, maybe they're just as soon get it over with and get out of here.
Maybe.
3:01 to go. The ball at the Bears' 48-yard line, second down 7. Payton got 3 on the last carry, and that gives him 120 yards on the day.
This is probably the fastest game we've had. This thing's going to end within 3 hours.
Strategic planning, my boy. First pitch in about 25 minutes. Both ends in tight. Weissnagel wide to the right. I formation. Quick pitch to Walter. Cuts back inside a block. He's to the 50. He cuts back at the 40. He's to the 30. All the way to the 27-yard line. Johnny Poe brought him down and saved a touchdown in the doing.
This puts him on a pace now to break O.J. Simpson's single-season rushing record.
If Walter Payton stays healthy and the Bears' offensive line continues to do the job, he will do just that.
What a year. And at the age of 30 in his 10th year in the NFL, incredible.
26-yard run for Walter, his longest of the game. That gives him 146 yards and 30 carries.
He's already had 2 big rushing days this year, 179 yards and 155.
Well, he could have well got over 200 that day they took him out early in the Denver game. This backfield, wide receiver to the right, both ends in tight, just straight ahead, grind him out, rock him, sock him football now for the Bears. Give to Walter, right up the middle, nice hold, knifes his way to the 20-yard line. Watlet brings him down there. It's Walter left, Walter right, Walter up the middle now as they have worn down the Saints. With 2 minutes to go, this will be the final time that the Saints can hope to have the clock stopped here. 2 minutes to go in this football game on Walter Payton's day here at Payton's Place, Soldier Field. The Bears lead it 20-7 on WBBM AM. Last year, down in the Kingdom, Walter Payton had one of his finest all-around football games. He rushed for 161 yards, threw for a couple of touchdowns, and I think he might have caught one, but it was all for nil as the Saints won it in overtime, 34-31. Today, Walter has cracked all the records, and he has picked up 154 yards and 32 carries, but the big thing is the Bears are winning this one.
Yeah, you meant the Superdome, not the Kingdom.
Right. Handoff goes to Suey, cuts back, he's to the 20, gets to the 15-yard line. Boy, Suey can cut about as quickly as a guy for his size of anybody I've seen. Glenn Red brings him down. He picked up 5 on the play, but we got a flag down. Well, holding against the Bears.
It's been a memorable day, and it would really be memorable if the Cubs could come through as well.
Yes, it would.
Pitch the division clincher. Now if they can pitch the pennant clincher, it would really put the frosting on this day.
5 penalties against the Bears.
Number 63.
It's on Hilgenberg. 5 penalties totaling 35 yards. Nullifies a 5-yard sweep by Suey. The Bears with 8 first downs in the second half, 17 for the game. The Saints have been held to only 3 first downs here in the second half, 12 for the day.
Interesting about Smith and Goose Gossage last night. Nobody mentioned the fact that against the Cubs, Gossage had an ERA of 7 this year, and against the Padres, Lee Smith had an ERA of 8.6, and both of those stats came home to roost last night.
1:53 to go. Bears lighted up at the Saints' 31-yard line. Second down, 14 to go. Deuce backfield. Wide receiver to the right, Weissnagel. Give to Suey. Same play. Cuts back. And this time gets about 3. And another flag is thrown late. Now let's see what this is all about. That time it looked like Bobby Johnson and Jay Hilgenberg were going at it. And let's see, it might be another penalty against Jay. Hilgenberg talking directly with the official. And I think he's going to be called holding for the second straight time.
Let's check our scoreboard here. Dallas has scored, but still trails St. Louis 31-20. And we've got Tampa Bay leads Minnesota now 35-24. Who's it on, Joe?
It's on Moorhead. They were looking right at Hilgenberg, and they talked with Hilgenberg, but then they called the illegal use of hands offensively, which is another way of describing holding against Moorhead. But this time the Saints declined the penalty, so Suey's 3-yard gain will stand. Saints at the 27.
Don't forget, WBBM AM is the place for all the World Series games. We'll bring you complete coverage of the Cubs' fight for victory and live play-by-play action of all the World Series games.
Now McKinnon has replaced Bashnagel. Wide to the right, high formation. Third down, 10 yards to go. The Bears at the Saints' 27. McMahon bootlegs to the left. He's got some daylight. He's to the 20. Cuts back at the 15. Straight arms a man and takes the dive at the 11. What a gutty call with a broken right hand and a bad back. It was a naked reverse bootleg to the left.
It was a gutty call, but
I wonder why.
He should have run out of bounds. He had the first down made, but he was trying to get all he can. In that situation, I want the guy to run out of bounds.
Well, I do too. I can't believe he made that call, but he picked up the first down at the 11-yard line. 241 yards rushing for the Bears today, who are averaging 217 per contest coming in to lead the league, so they'll pad their league lead there after a relatively slow first half.
Yeah. I don't mind the call so much, but I hate to see him turn it inside when he can go outside and get out of bounds.
Well, the whole point is the risk factor when you got a guy who's been struggling to stay in the ball game all year.
Sure.
This backfield, McKinnon wide to the right. Bears would like another score here, I have a feeling. 55 seconds to go. McMahon gives to Suey, trying to follow Payton's block, cuts inside the tackle and gets inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line where Whitney Paul pins him. And we're going to have a little fracas after the whistle. May have been started by somebody laying on Suey a little bit strong.
And the clock continues to run while all this is going on. Now they're going to stop it with 34 seconds left. 34, huh? Where have we heard that before?
You're listening to Chicago Bears football on WBBM AM in Chicago. Well, Suey with 3 more yards on the ground, 244 for the Bears ground game today, and Suey with 45 yards and 11 carries. That gives him 245 on the year. Here comes Walter, and he'll get a standing ovation from the few fans that are still here.
Well, I'm standing.
Handshake from Bashnagel, Otis Wilson. High fives. Johnny Rowland pats him on the head. Johnny, the offensive backfield coach. I don't think he's ever had one quite like Walter. Wide to the right now, McKinnon, deuce backfield. Gentry and Suey. And a give to Gentry, follows the lead block and gets to the 5. Off right guard and tackle. If the Bears really wanted to score, they could stop the clock here a couple of times. Ricky Jackson made the stop. And that's it. The game is over. And Walter Payton's day is history, and it comes out on the positive side all the way around. Walter not only broke Jim Brown's career rushing record, he also moved ahead of him in 100-yard games rushing with his 59th here today. And last, and certainly not least, the most important thing of all, the Bears have won their 4th game of the year against 2 losses and remain in first place in the NFC Central Division with a 20-7 win over the New Orleans Saints. We'll have a wrap-up of the highlights of this historic event right after this on WBBM AM.
It's Sunday. You're listening to the Bears with Joe McConnell and Brad Palmer, and the last thing you want to think about is Monday morning.
That's exactly why we're here. Defensive sortie, but then a quarterback sack of Jim McMahon trying to pass knocked the Bears out of any try for a touchdown, and so they call on Bob Thomas from 48 yards out halfway through the first quarter. Hilgenberg over the ball at center. There's a snap. It's a good one. The ball is down. The kick is up. It's got distance. It is good right through the heart. Bob Thomas nailed a 48-yarder, one short of his long kick of the year, and the Bears draw first blood. At 9:43 to go in the game's first quarter, they had gone 28 yards in 7 plays to take a 3-0 lead over the New Orleans Saints. Now, the only sack of the day of Richard Todd by the Bears took the Saints out of their scoring drive, and they had to punt. And the youngster, punting all day and very well for the New Orleans Saints, Brian Hansen, kicked one out of bounds at the Bears' 1-yard line with 5:16 left to go in the first quarter. But then the momentum shifted in a most unexpected way. The Bears were forced to punt, and Dave Pinzer hit the longest punt of his lifetime and the second longest in Chicago Bear history. Pinzer about 6 yards deep in his own end zone. Dan Raines over the ball at center. Good snap. They've got out rush on. He gets the kick away, and a boomer all the way back, and Fields going to let it bounce to the 30. It's inside the 10. It's to the 5, and it's knocked out of bounds. Where are they going to mark it? It's going to be at about the 2-yard line, I believe. A tremendous punt by Finzer. An 87-yarder, second longest in the great and illustrious history of the Chicago Bears. Then, the only turnover of the day, John Hill, the center, misread the snap count and snapped it too quickly for Richard Todd. And Mike Hartenstein recovered the ball at the New Orleans Saints' 23-yard line after a nifty run by Hokie Gajoon had gotten the Saints out of a hole. That led to Bob Thomas's second field goal of the game, a 46-yarder. And with 28 seconds left to go in the first quarter, the Bears held a 6-0 lead. Then the teams exchanged punts through most of the second period until the Saints got rolling late in the second quarter. They went 40 yards in 6 plays, and on a 3rd down and 14 from the Chicago Bear 15-yard line, here's what happened. Big call here for Richard Todd. Now they send Wilson in motion to the right where they have the flanker. Taking the deep straight pass drop as Todd floats one in the right corner of the end zone, and it's a touchdown to Wayne Wilson as he beats Singletary to the ball. On a 3rd down and 14 for the 15-yard line, Todd hit the running back in the right corner of the end zone, and the Saints have tied the score at 6. That was Wilson's 3rd touchdown grab in 10 catches this year. Morton Anderson gave the Saints a short ride and their only lead of the game, 7-6, with 2:45 to go in the game's first half. Then the Bears put on one of the best 2-minute drills they've put on in recent years. A couple of long gainers to Willie Galt, another key pass play complete to Emery Moorhead, and they were in touchdown territory. Payton tried once from the 1, skied over the line of scrimmage, came down short of the goal line. They still had a timeout left, but they declined to call it. And with the clock winding down, they called Walter's number one more time.
Bears 12 seconds, clock running, time for one running play and a timeout.
Well, let's get the running play off. And they give it to Walter. Hurdles! Touchdown! He went 4 yards in the air, came down over the goal line as Walter flew over the line of scrimmage with 3 seconds to go in the half on 3rd and goal from inside the 1. And Payton scores his 3rd touchdown of the year and 81 lifetime on the ground, career-wise. I think I'll settle McConnell down a bit and say he went 4 feet in the air, not 4 yards. If he had, we'd have set a high jump record here today. That came, by the way, there were 3 seconds left on the game clock at halftime. Bob Thomas added the extra point, and that capped a 10-play, 80-yard drive, giving the Bears the lead at halftime, 13-7. Then it was record-setting time. At the end of the first half, Walter had 64 yards, which left him 2 shy of Jim Brown's career rushing record, 3 to break, and Walter got it on the second call of the second half. And Walter needs 2 to break the record. High formation, wing to the right is McKinnon, Galt wide to the left. They send McKinnon in motion through to the left side. Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out over the 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher, surpassing Jim Brown on his 2nd carry here in the second half, and that's the equivalent to Hank Aaron breaking Babe Ruth's all-time home run record. And listen to the standing ovation. Now for Walter, that put him past Jim Brown, and then the Bears went on to score a touchdown on that electrifying, or they did not score a touchdown. They had to punt it away, and they exchanged punts with the New Orleans Saints for the rest of the 3rd period. So it was scoreless in the 3rd period, with the Bears leading 13-7. Then the Bears got it going in the 4th quarter, and Walter Payton had one more record to set today, and it came on this carry. Galt wide to the near side. Double wing formation to give to Payton right through a big hole to the 25 to the 21-yard line, the 20-yard line, and Walter Payton has just set a 2nd NFL career rushing record today. First, he surpasses Jim Brown in total yardage, and now he goes over the 100-yard mark for the 59th time in his career, and more importantly, a first down in scoring territory for the Bears. At the New Orleans Saints 20-yard line, and the Bears went on to cap that 75-yard 8-play drive on this dandy of a pass from Jim McMahon to Dennis McKinnon. Slot to the left, wing to the right. McMahon, a quick lob to the left side. It's caught for the touchdown by McKinnon. A little quick lob as he took 2 steps back, and on the back foot he just hung it up like a parachute on the little 5 pattern in the near left corner of the end zone. McKinnon circled under it like a center fielder, gathered it in, and stepped into the end zone for the touchdown. Bob Thomas added the final point of the day to make it secure. The Bears on Payton's historic afternoon beat the New Orleans Saints 20-7. We'll join Brad Palmer in the victorious Chicago Bears locker room in a moment, but first back to Rich King with NFL scores here on WBBM AM.
Okay, thanks a lot, Joe McConnell. Rich King back in our studio here, 3:10 on WBBM AM, rounding up the rest of the scores in the NFL. In the late in the game at Pontiac, the Denver Broncos still leading Detroit by a score of 28-7. The Lions about to go 1-5. Also late in the game, Tampa Bay in command now over Minnesota by a score of 35-24. The Vikings jumping off to a 14-0 lead in that game, but again, Tampa Bay by 11 in the late going. San Diego's jumped off to a 7-0 lead over Green Bay in the first. Late in the game, St. Louis leading Dallas 31-20. That game at Dallas. The Bears' next opponent is the St. Louis Cardinals. Washington drubbing Indianapolis 35-7 in the Hoosier Dome. Miami over Pittsburgh 31-7 at Pittsburgh.